How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to episode 2 of 12 Days of Pugs. Today we got the cringiest Skibidi Toilet kids of all time. These are the kids who have the worst cases of Skibidi Toilet disease. I know you'll enjoy these stories, and this is a long one, so get comfortable. Sit down, get a snack, maybe prepare to go to sleep if you're going to sleep to this. And as always, this is an homage to Scrubby's 12 Days of Scrubs. Since he no longer posts, I'm going to carry the torch from here. Leave a like on the video right now to claim your free nothing. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and like stories, and let's get into the best Skibidi Toilet Kid stories of all time. Let's go. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to a brand new story. Today we have a story time of this kid who thinks this Skibidi toilet trend thing is real and refuses to go to the bathroom for days on end. It's a complete disaster, but an absolutely hilarious story that I know that you will enjoy. So sit back, relax, subscribe to the channel if you're new, leave a like on the video right now to claim your free nothing. And with that being said, let's just jump right into it. So we're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Bryce. So anyways, Bryce has this little cousin, and this story has happened literally in the last week. So anyways, he was over at his little cousin's house, and Bryce is around 15 years old and is a fan of the channel and submitted the story to me over on Instagram. If you ever want to submit a story to me, go to Instagram right now, look up connorpugs, follow me, and then message me your story. Anyways, though, Bryce, who's around 15 years old, has a little cousin who's around 8 years old. And Bryce was over at his little cousin's house around a week ago. So anyways, Bryce walks up to his little cousin's room, and his little cousin spends a lot of his day on his iPad, playing games, watching YouTube videos, doing all that kind of stuff. So Bryce walks up there because for some reason his mom might have said something like, hey, can you go get your little cousin? Hey, can you go and do that or whatever? And so Bryce walks up there to go find his little cousin. So anyways, Bryce walks up there and he finds the little cousin, who we're going to call Ben for this story. Ben is sitting there on his iPad. And Ben is literally shaking, bro. He is vibrating right now. So Bryce obviously is a little bit taken off guard by this and thinks it's a little strange that this kid is vibrating. I don't know, the last time I checked, kids are not supposed to frickin' vibrate, bro. Anyways, though, so yeah, sure enough, Bryce is like, yo, Ben, are you good right now? And Ben just sits there kind of shaking or whatever. And that's when he looks up at Bryce. He's like, Bryce, I'm never going to use the bathroom ever again. I'm never going to sit on a toilet ever again. So obviously at this point, Bryce is like, what? Because, hey, man, if your little cousin comes up to you and basically says, hey, man, I'm never going to use the toilet ever again. I'm never going to go to the bathroom ever again. I don't know about you, but I would be a little bit, I would not freaked out, but just kind of what's going on right now, bro? Seriously, I don't really know what's going on, but I'm a little bit concerned to say the least. So yeah, Bryce asked the little kid, hey, bro, can you elaborate on that? I'm not totally sure what's going on. And the little kid's like, or Ben, the little cousin, is like, bro, Skibidi Toilet's gonna come. He's gonna come for me, man. I can't sit in that toilet. And look, Bryce is like, Skibidi what? Skibidi who, bro? What are you talking about right now? What is this Skibidi toilet thing that's gonna quote unquote come for you, bro? What are you even saying right now? So yeah, sure enough, the subscriber is just kind of confused by all of this, and Bryce goes on to be like, bro, I don't know what you're saying. And Ben, the little cousin's like, okay, fine, I'll show you if you don't believe me. Which, once again, it's not like Bryce, the subscriber, didn't believe him. It's just, he's like, bro, I don't even know what this Skibidi Bop toilet type thing is, bro. What are you even saying right now? So anyways, the little cousin Ben takes out his iPad and loads up YouTube. And he finds some video of the Skibidi Toilet. Okay, if you guys are super confused right now, I was confused. When I received this story, I actually had no idea what a Skibidi Toilet, whatever. Okay, it's some kind of meme that turned into a horror thing. I don't even know. It's really big on YouTube right now. But basically, it's some scary head that's in a toilet. You probably saw something in the thumbnail of this video of something coming out of a toilet. So that is basically what that is. And it's basically blown up on the internet. I'm not totally sure why. If you guys want to enlighten me in the comment section, go ahead and do that because I have no idea what's going on. Maybe it's just because I'm a boomer or something. Anyways, though, so yeah, sure enough, right, the subscriber is looking at this video, and it's just a video of some, like, poorly done Gmod toilet type thing, some head, like, saying something in a toilet, and a bunch of, like, just YouTube videos about it. And Bryce is like, bro, you need to trust me. This is clearly just something on the internet. You don't need to flip out over this. Like, bro, it's not that deep, I swear. And the kid's like, bro, you don't understand. If I go to the toilet right now, I'm going to be eaten by the Skibidi toilet. It's going to happen, bro. And at this point, Bryce's like, oh my God. And so he's like, okay, dude, like, you have to trust me. You're not. Because here's the thing, bro. You are going to need to use the bathroom at some point, and you can't hold this in forever. And let me just tell you, look, if the Skibidi toilet eats you, you know, you can tell mom, and you can have access to my Xbox for the whole week. Because the whole thing in Bryce's house was like how, like, he had an Xbox, and, like, he didn't let anyone else use it or whatever. And he's like, look, bro, if the Skibidi toilet eats you, you can have access to my Xbox. Obviously, right. He's not giving up anything because this thing isn't real. But Ben's like, well, if he eats me, then how am I supposed to use the Xbox, Bryce? What are you saying right now? Yeah, so anyways, right, sure enough, the subscriber's like, okay, I gotta figure out a way to either, one, explain to my aunt/my mom what's going on right now so that they don't blame it on me for some reason, and two, figure out a way to get my little cousin over his fear of using the frickin' toilet right now. So anyways, Bryce goes down to explain to his parents. He's like, look, Ben saw something scary on the internet. And Bryce's mom's like, did you show him? Bryce, did you show him this? And Bryce is like, no. Okay, that's not the point. First of all, I didn't. But he saw something scary on the internet. And for some reason, he's now refusing to use a toilet. I don't know how to say it. It is what it is. He doesn't want to use a toilet right now, and we got to figure out a way to convince him that the toilet is safe. So Bryce's mom's like, Bryce, I know you were behind this somehow. I know for some reason this is your fault. Hey, real quick, if you made it this far into the video, comment toilet down below right now. That'll be the secret word of the day, and I'll try and heart as many comments to say toilet right now. Anyways, though, Bryce is like, Mom, I didn't do this. Like, you really think I care that much? Or you really think that I'm like, oh my God, like, Skibidi toilet, blah, blah. Like, no, bro, that's some weird YouTube short stuff, bro. That's not me. So anyways, eventually Bryce's mom doesn't really care if it's him or not. And they kind of come together. They all walk upstairs. They go into Ben's room. And Bryce's mom is like, hey, Ben. And Ben is literally sitting there, shivering, looking at his iPad because he's watching too many Skibidi toilet videos or I don't even know what that is, bro. Yeah, so anyways, right, Ben, the little cousin, is just sitting there shivering with his iPad like, oh my God, Mom, Skibidi toilet's gonna come and get me. And okay, at this point, they're like, okay, that's not true. It's a hoax on the internet. You need to believe me. Or you just need to trust me. You need to believe that Skibidi toilet is not a real thing. I don't even know what this is, right? So they're all trying to convince Ben, the little cousin, to stop being scared of this fake internet thing. And Ben is like, I don't believe it. I know he's in the toilet right now. So at this point, Bryce's mom, and Bryce's aunt all look at each other like, okay. You say he's in the toilet right now. So anyways, they all walk over. They say, hey, let's walk over to the bathroom. Ben's like, no. And then Bryce is like, come on, bro. Like, I'm there. If the Skibidi toilet, bro, comes out of the toilet, trust me, I got you. He'll see these hands. He'll see these hands, right? He'll see these hands. You're safe. I got you with that. Don't even sweat it for a second. So, you know, he's like, okay, fine, whatever. They all walk over. And they walk over to the toilet. And Bryce is like, yo, Ben, do you see any Skibidi toilet dude in there? No, I didn't think so. And Ben's like, he's obviously hiding in there, you simpleton. You really think that Skibidi toilet would be stupid enough to just show his face to you? Like, you really have no brains, Bryce. And Bryce is like, yo, relax, bro. And Ben's mom is like, Ben, like, don't talk back to your cousin like that. And Ben's like, I'm sorry, I'm just really stressed out right now. I just don't want to be eaten alive by a Skibidi toilet. And I don't understand why you guys don't understand the severity of this situation. Yeah, anyways, right, so sure enough, the subscriber's like, okay, bro, like, what do you need for us to prove the Skibidi toilet is not in there? And Ben's like, I need you to stick your hand in the toilet. And Bryce is like, bro, I'm not doing that. And Ben's like, well then, how else are we supposed to know if Skibidi Toilet's in there? And Bryce is like, it's not real. It's not real. I don't need to, I don't know how else to say, man. I don't know how else to say it. Skibidi Toilet is a fake YouTube Shorts horror comedy. I don't even know what to say. It's not real. Bro, not everything you see on the internet is real. And Ben's like, you know what? Well then, I'm not going to the bathroom. And Bryce is like, fine, don't go to the bathroom then. Okay. So this is where the story gets kind of bad. So 12 hours go by, and Bryce is staying over at their house for a couple days. So Bryce is certain that this kid has gone to the bathroom because, you know, he's walking around all fine. He's walking around just okay. Things are just fine. He doesn't look uncomfortable. And after about 12 hours, Bryce is like, yo, bro, like, did you eventually go to the bathroom? And Ben is like, nope, I did not go on that toilet. And Bryce is like, you didn't answer my question. I said, did you go to the bathroom? And Ben's like, I did not go to the bathroom on that toilet where Skibidi Toilet is. And Bryce is like, bro, did you or did you not go to the bathroom? And Ben just has this guilty look on his face. And Bryce is like, oh no, bro. Yeah, so anyways, right, as this is going on, you hear the aunt scream. So they all run upstairs except for Ben. And they basically see, well, Ben did go to the bathroom. He just went to the bathroom under his mom's bed. So at this point, they call Ben up. And Ben very shamefully comes in. And his aunt is screaming at him. And Bryce's mom has this big, like, uh-oh look on her face. And Bryce is like, oh my God. And eventually Ben's in tears like, I didn't want to do it under your bed, but I didn't want to be eaten by the Skibidi Pop toilet. And at this point, they're all like, oh my God, bro. Oh my God, bro. Like, no way you think this is real. So at this point, Bryce is like, look, if I sat in the toilet for 10 minutes, do you think the Skibidi toilet would come get me? And Ben's like, no, don't do it, bro. I care for you too much. I don't want you to be eaten by Skibidi Toilet. And he's like, oh my God. And Bryce is like, look, man, if this is what I need to do to prove to you, then this is what I got to do to prove to you. Ben's like, no, you can't do it. And Bryce is like, too late. So Bryce gets up, runs into the bathroom, and locks himself on the toilet. And Ben is screaming the whole time, no, Bryce, no, guys, he's going to get eaten by Skibidi Toilet. No. So they're all kind of just, waiting out there while Bryce is sitting in the bathroom. Bryce really just has an opportunity to go on his phone and look on TikTok. 10 minutes pass by, and he opens up the door. And Ben's like, so you weren't eaten? And Ben's like, or Bryce is like, no, I was not eaten. And Ben's like, well, then maybe I was mistaken. And Bryce is like, oh, maybe you're mistaken. No, you were mistaken, bro. You were mistaken. Sometimes Gen Z kids think too much of themselves. And today, we have a story of a cringy kid who is convinced he is a quote-unquote Riz god. And spoiler, he has negative game. Put your cringe goggles on and let's just jump right into it. So we're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Andrew. So anyways, there was a kid in Andrew's class who one day sat down at Andrew's table with his friends, and Andrew didn't know this kid that well, and we're just going to call him the Gen Z kid or the cringy kid. We're just going to call him we're going to call him the Riz God, but I'm going to call him that ironically, because the kid sits down, and he basically is like, what's good, boys? Like, what's up? And, Andrew doesn't really know this kid, and, Andrew's friend doesn't really know this kid, so they kind of look at him, they're like, what's good, dude? He's like, boys, I don't think you understand, but I've been spending the last couple months studying the art of being a Riz god. You don't understand. I can pick up, any woman ever. I'm willing to bet the whole farm on it, bro. And obviously, Andrew kind of looks at his friends, because, no disrespect, but, this kid definitely did not appear to be, someone who could legitimately pick up anyone. And that's not just necessarily an appearance jab. I mean, he wasn't freaking DiCaprio or anything like that, but he also just the way he held himself, the way he dressed, the aromas coming from him, huge combination of stuff that just really didn't imply him to be a quote-unquote Riz god as he was self-proclaiming to be. So Andrew and his friends were seeing a pretty good betting opportunity. They're like, all right, they're like, okay, man, like, sure, we'll take the bet. And the kid is like, you guys so just messed up right there because you're about to lose some money because I'm a rich god. And they're like, okay, dude, like, sure. What's terms and conditions of the bet? They say, and the kid's like, I will bet you guys $20 that by the end of the week, I will be able to go on a date with anyone that you choose. So first of all, Andrew and his friends were like, okay, because remember, this was 8th grade. $20 is a pretty huge deal. And like $20 is $20, don't get me wrong. But I know especially like when I was a kid and there's like literally no way for me to make money. Even like $1, I was like, dang, dude, I don't know if I can spend $1 on that. So anyways, they were pretty down because they were like 95% sure that they're going to win this bet. So they said, okay, sure, dude. Yeah, we'll bet that. And you have to ask out, and they're looking around the lunchroom, right? And they look over at the popular girls table, and there's like the pretty popular, like they're all pretty, they're all popular, whatever, but like the prettiest, most popular girl in their grade, we're going to call her Caroline. They say, you have to ask out Caroline. And they kind of looked at the kid thinking that he would kind of have either a little bit of a nervous or a shocked expression on his face because this was definitely quite an ask. But he looked at them with pure confidence, laughed, and was like, hey, you guys really think that's going to stop me? You don't understand because I am actually a rich god. Fine, we'll make the bet then. So basically what they agreed was that they found some like random guy we're going to call Ben that they were both like friendly with, and they were both going to give Ben $20, give Ben $20 each and basically say, hey, these are the rules of like the game or whatever. This is like the bet we're making just to make sure that the kid doesn't like not pull her, which he definitely won't. And then it's like, guys, I'm not giving you the $20 or something like that because like, I don't know, this kid might do that. So basically Ben was like the guy in between making sure that the money was collected and given out to the right person. So anyways, the Riz God himself explains that he has a guaranteed 3-step process that will have 100% success. And he sits down at the lunch table and he explains it to Andrew and his friends. He says, there's 3 steps to asking out a girl. Number 1, you must show her your strength. You must show her that you are strong and powerful so that she knows that you can protect her from the wolves. And Andrew's like, okay. Step 2, you must show off your wealth. You must show that you have a lot of money so that you can support her and you can buy whatever miniature dog she wants to buy. And Andrew's like, okay, bro. He's like, step 3, and also the final step. You need to show that you are an alpha Riz god. And to do that, you must show your dominance when asking her out. Andrew's like, okay. Lol. Basically, the more this kid spoke, the more Andrew and his friends realized that they just secured the most guaranteed $20 of their entire life. Like, sure, maybe you work a job and someone says they're going to give you $20, but you're actually more likely to get $20 betting that this kid is not going to be able to pick up any girl ever than getting $20 in a legally binding contract from your employer. It is just that guaranteed at this point. So Andrew and his friends were like, okay, man, well, you got a week to do it, so yeah. So anyways, the kid decides to execute stage 1. So the next day, which is show off his strength, right? So the next day, Andrew happens to see this. He's walking with his friends, and he sees that Caroline is at the end of the hallway talking with her friends by their locker. He also sees that the Riz God himself, the kid, right, is walking with his backpack, but he's walking kind of weird. So that's when he takes out his backpack, and he dumps his backpack out, right? And there's only one thing in his backpack. The one thing in his backpack is a 2.5-pound dumbbell. So I don't know the conversion for the metric folks that watch this, right? But 2.5 pounds is probably the lowest the lightest possible dumbbell that you can find. So just think of on your rack the lightest possible dumbbell. Like it might be even so light that some gyms don't even carry them, right? So that falls out of the kid's bag, and the kid makes a big scene saying, oh no, this really heavy weight just fell out of my backpack. It would be really crazy if I had enough strength to pick it up. And because he was yelling so loud, yeah, Caroline and her friends looked over because they were like, what's this dweeb yelling about, bro? Like, what? So they look over, and this kid reaches down, and he's like, meh, and he, like, picks it up. And he's, like, making eye contact with Caroline the whole time. She's like, okay, dude. Like, all right. And he's like, oh, wow, that was so easy for me, even though that weight was so heavy. I doubt anyone else could pick it up. And he puts it in his backpack, and he walks away. But he walks away from Caroline towards Andrew, and he stops by Andrew, and he's like, step 1 complete, Andrew. One more step towards your failure. And for me, I can already think of all the ways that I'm going to be spending your hard-earned $20. And, Andrew's like, all right, dude, like, cool. What? He's like, yes, I showed up. The first of 3 tenets to securing any lady you want. First, show off your strength. And I did. She saw me pick up that really heavy weight. And Andrew's like, dude, no disrespect, but that was 2.5 pounds. Like, I don't know if that convinced her. And he's like, silence, you will see that what I am doing is a very carefully strategized, step-by-step operation. You will see, Andrew. And he, like, storms off. And Andrew turns to his friend. He's like, dude, I almost feel bad taking $20 from this kid. Because at this point, this isn't even a bet. This is just saying, hey, man, I'm going to take $20 from you. That's just how secured Andrew felt at this point, right? So, yeah, stage 2 of the kid's plan to become the most insane Riz god on planet Earth. Remember, step 2 is to show off his wealth. So here's the thing. The Riz god has already given up his $20 to the person, the middleman who's holding the bet. So he needs to find another way to show off his immense wealth, right? So the kid isn't really that creative, so he decides to do basically the exact same thing he did for the dumbbell, but with something that you'll see in just a second. This was pretty funny, dude. So anyways, same situation the next day. I think Caroline just had a class around that time, and she also just happened to convene with her friends at that time. And I think Andrew just happened to be walking down there at the same time as well because he had a class. For some reason, the exact same setup as the day before happened. Caroline was at the end of the hallway with her friends. Andrew was walking with one of his friends, and the Riz god himself was walking in with another backpack. And this time, his backpack was completely flat. It looked as if it was entirely empty. This was not the case. So once again, the kid is like, oops, and like intentionally spills his backpack onto the ground for a second time. And once again, he's being super like obvious how loud he's being and like very over dramatic to make sure he gets the attention of Caroline. And Caroline looks over, and once again, she's just looking at him like, what, dude? Like, what's going on? And out of his backpack, right? He throws his backpack on the ground, and out of his backpack floats 2 single $1 bills. And look, you can buy some stuff with $1, right? $1's not that bad. But it also doesn't, if you have $2, right? No one's going to walk by and be like, man, that guy must be in the top 0.00000000001% of income earners. That guy must rival Elon Musk for the amount of wealth and power he has. He has 2 $1 bills? What? Huh? Okay, look. But not the spoiled kid, but the kid, the Riz god himself, he must have been like low on cash because he already put his like only $20 bill to the bet. And so he had $2 bills, and they kind of floated out very like, you know how like when you drop a piece of paper or like a tissue, it kind of floats like downwards so it doesn't drop immediately. So like the 2 like $1 bills are kind of just floating in the air, and the kid's like, oh my God, all my great wealth is all over the place right now. Guys, don't steal from me, even though I'm already super rich and it wouldn't matter, but yeah. And, like, people are just, like, staring at him because he's saying this really loud. He's like, oh, no, look at all this money that's coming out of my backpack. Oh, my God. And, like, Caroline looks at it. She's like, okay. Like, okay. Like, dude, okay, whatever. He's like, oh, my God. Wow. So much money is pouring out of my backpack right now. It's actually kind of crazy right now. It's like, dude, that's a lot of money coming out. It's like $2. Look, no disrespect to $2, bro. Like, I knew that in 8th grade, if, like, I had $2 in my pocket, I'd feel kind of like a baller. But also, I feel like I'd understand that flexing two $1 bills super hard is not going to necessarily get the point across that I will, oh my God, I can buy, oh girlfriend, I can buy you anything because as long as it's under $2 and you don't ask for anything else after that, then I can buy, other than that, I can buy you anything. No, okay. So Caroline sees this, she's like, okay. And the kid like puts the $2 bills back into his backpack, but then he pretends to trip again. So the $2 bills, once again, not a $2 bill, that's kind of sick. The two $1 bills, once again, fly out of his backpack. Bro is trying to show it off again. He's trying to rinse and repeat the strategy, but it didn't work the first time. So once again, he's like, oh no, all the money's come out of my backpack again. And at this point, Caroline and her friends just walk away because they're like, this is weird. And this time he like quickly grabs it up because he sees that Caroline isn't seeing it anymore. And once again, the Riz God himself starts to walk towards the subscriber, Andrew, and it's like, so, you must be trembling in your boots right now. And Andrew's like, dude, what are you saying? Like, what? And the Riz God's like, oh, because I have successfully completed 2 of the 3 tenets that guarantee that any lady will fall in love with me. And Andrew's like, yeah, dude, I'm trembling in my boots? Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, man. No, you're actually spot on with that. I'm really concerned. Also, if you made it this far into the video, comment dollar down below. It's not going to be Gen Z down below. You guys start guessing the secret word too soon. And if you want to listen on Spotify, the link's in the pinned comment. And if you're listening on Spotify, make sure to rate the podcast 5 stars. Helps me out in the algorithm on there. So yeah, anyways, it is finally time for the final tenet of getting any woman to fall in love with you 100% accuracy, never, not a scam, no joke, bro. The final tenet. It is finally time. And the Riz God himself is about to perform. So the next day in lunch, he doesn't take the week to ask this girl out, Caroline. He only takes 3 days because 1 day for each tenet, right? He is so confident that he is going to succeed that he just doesn't even wait a week. He doesn't even give himself a week to talk to her. He knows for a fact that these 3 tenets will guarantee that he will achieve the woman of his dreams. Obviously. So anyways, the next day, after the whole $2 incident, we'll call it, lunchtime, Andrew's sitting with his friends, Caroline is sitting with her friends, and Andrew is sitting close enough to Caroline that he could hear conversations a little bit. And if he really tried, he could hear exactly what they're saying. He doesn't because, like, who cares, bro? They're probably just talking about stuff, like, whatever. Andrew's just talking with his friends. He has no idea that the Riz God himself is about to ask Caroline out in his final 3rd tenet, which, remember, the final tenet is to prove that you are an alpha Riz God master, right? So whatever the hell that means. I know. It's not going to be good. That's all I know. I don't know what that means. But what I do know is strap in, buckle up, kids. This is going to be bad. And also, take out your pen and paper and start to jot down notes. Here are the notes. Do not do what this kid does. Okay, that's all you need to take notes on. So let's get into it. So Andrew's sitting with his friends, and he sees that the Riz God himself has entered the lunchroom. And the Riz God himself is entering the lunchroom, and he must have learned that he must have learned about the peacock, the bird, right? And basically, the male peacock gets all dressed up and whatever, gets all not dressed up. Okay, the male peacock is very colorful and fancy to attract like the female peacock. So he must have been like, oh, well, I must do the same thing. So bro literally comes in tie-dye shirt, tie-dye shorts, and somehow got his hands on tie-dye shoes. He must have like, I don't know, bro must have gone to like Riz class from a freaking, I'm actually brain dead. Did I call this? Peacock, dude, I'm so stupid. Live reaction of my brain failing. He must have gone to Riz classes from a freaking peacock, bro. He came in all like tie-dye. Are you serious right now? Like, bro, okay, a tie-dye shirt can work, I guess, but don't come in a tie-dye shirt, shoes, socks, underwear, eyeliner. Just, bro, what? Anyway, so he comes in and he walks super like weird up to her. Like, he must have seen some, like, this is how alpha males walk. Boom, 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 boom. Like, something really stupid like that. So he's, like, walking up, swinging his arms all strange in his, like, full tie-dye outfit. And Andrew's mouth drops. Because he's like, I knew the $20 were secured, but oh my God. Anyway, so he goes up. He looks at Caroline. He's like, Caroline, you will go on a date with me right now. Whole lunchroom goes silent. She's, like, looking at him. Shocked. Too stunned to move or say anything. And Andrew is like, wait, did he just demand that she go on a... What? Dude just demanded that she goes on a date with him. Are you serious right now, bro? What? And the kid's like, yeah, you heard me right, Caroline. You have no choice in this. You are going on a date with me this weekend. And she's like, no. And the kid's like, what? Bro's like, but I did the 3 tenants. What happened? Okay, I'm actually going to blow up my voice, my friends. He's at this point, the Riz God himself is shocked because he's in his head, he's probably thinking, okay, well, I did tenant 1, I showed off my incredible strength, and I did tenant 2, I showed off my immense wealth, and I did tenant 3 by showing my alpha intenseness by asking her out and saying that she has to go out. What happened? What went wrong? What? I did forget one of the tenants. 1, no, 2, no, 3. No, what? Yeah, so basically he's standing there. Everyone's looking at him. Caroline's looking at him. Andrew's looking at him. They're all looking at each other. They're going, what's going on right now? Yeah, so sure enough, after saying no, the kid's like, that's very funny, Caroline. I knew you were funny and smart and pretty too. So, no, seriously now. We got on a date this weekend? I mean, you have no choice in it. I'm alpha, so I'm not going to let you have a choice. Caroline's like, what? No. Like, sorry, no disrespect, but no. He's like, what? Okay, I get it. You don't want everyone to know that you're going on a date with me because they'd be so jealous. Okay, and she's like, no, I'm not going on a date with you. I'm so sorry. Like, nope, that's not happening. And the kid's like, I see. Like, the most sad walk back. And he walks by, Andrew's table. And the guy, Ben, who's holding on to the $20, he gives both $20 to Andrew. And Andrew turns to his friends, and they shake their heads. They're like, no. Andrew goes up to the kid, gives him his $20 back. And the Riz God is like, but you wanted $20. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing, man. I'm sorry. And Andrew's like, bro, it's good. Like, don't worry about it. Like, we shouldn't have made you do that. Like, that was kind of messed up. He said, look, I have some friends that, they have girlfriends. They've done pretty successful. If you really want to know what it takes, we'll help you out, man. And, they they don't really, like, become best friends with the quote-unquote Riz God anymore. But he actually does take them up on the offer, and, like, they give him a little bit of advice, like, bro-to-bro advice. Like, first of all, invest in deodorant, man. We will pay you to invest in deodorant, right? And the other thing is, like, look, you gotta talk to women. He's like, what? You gotta talk to women, man. No way. Yeah, okay. But anyways, eventually the kid doesn't be... What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got a story time of this kid who thinks that the whole Skibidi toilet trend is real. And for that reason, he becomes afraid of the bathroom. And it becomes a whole mess, man. Like, it's kind of a funny story, but it's also just like, man, come on now. You can't believe everything you see on YouTube Shorts. Either way, I know you guys will enjoy today's video, so make sure to leave a like right now to claim your free nothing limited time. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and like story videos. And with that being said, let's just jump right into it. So we're going to call a subscriber who submitted this story Alex. So anyways, right, this happened this summer in August, so it's a pretty recent story, which, by the way, if you want to submit a story, all you got to do is go to my Instagram account, which is just connorpugs. Follow me on there, and then DM message me your story. Anyways, though, so this happened pretty recently. So if you guys don't know, there's just been this trend that's been going crazy big. It's this, like, toilet thing. It's like a dude in a toilet who's, like, singing songs or whatever. And it's gone, I know that sounds kind of ridiculous, but it's gone incredibly viral. But what you got to know is it's like a scary face that lives in a toilet, and that's really all the context you need. I mean, feel free to go ahead and look up, the Skibidi Toilet, whatever stuff on your own time, but you don't necessarily need to understand / enjoy the story. But I'm assuming a lot of you guys know, because there's this kind of like TV, not this TV series, but a kind of like a chronological series about the Skibidi Toilet stuff. It gets like 50 million views an episode. It's ridiculous. Anyways, though, so this trend was going crazy, and especially it was really peaking in August. So anyways, Alex went to go see his little cousin at the end of summer. His summertime was kind of wrapping up, and there was a few family stops they need to make during the summer, such as seeing his grandparents, seeing whatever, and one of the last stops was going to see his cousin. So his cousin lives in Florida. Alex lives in, like, I don't know, Ohio or some random state, right? But Alex's cousin lives in Florida, so they made the trip out there. Anyways, Alex and his mom and his dad, they fly out to Florida. They meet up with Alex's aunt at the airport, and they drive them back. Alex hasn't seen his little cousin in about a year, and his little cousin is around 8 years old, which is probably the average enjoyer of this Skibidi Toilet stuff anyways, which is fine. You guys can like it. It's like a whole series or something. Look, I'm 21. Oh, it's my birthday a couple days ago, so you can still leave a like to say happy birthday. You still can do that, guys. But yeah, it's a little bit out of my age range. Yeah. So anyways, right, sure enough, the subscriber, he walks in, and his little cousin is just sitting on the couch, doesn't even acknowledge the fact that the subscriber came in, which, okay, whatever. He's an iPad kid for sure. I mean, bro's literally sitting on the couch looking at his iPad, drooling, his brain cells slowly melting away. And sure enough, the Skibidi Toilet Song thing is playing while this is all going down. So you just hear the theme song or whatever playing, and the little cousin is literally just staring at the iPad as the Skibidi Toilet Song or whatever is just blasting in the background. And it's kind of just at this point, bro wasn't even looking at it. Dude's brain cells actually left his body when this song was playing. I'm not going to lie, guys. I wish, iPad kids today would watch, I don't know, the OG Minecraft YouTubers. I grew up on, the Stampy Longhead series. I grew up on, PewDiePie and Markiplier and Jacksepticeye and, the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. And now it's I don't know how I feel about Skibidi Toilet, whatever, right? But it's fine. I'm just being an old man right now. I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, though, he's just staring away as the song's playing. And so the aunt is getting kind of annoyed because it's kind of embarrassing on her, because at the end of the day, if the son isn't responding that well, maybe it's the mom's fault here. Not exactly the 8-year-old kid who doesn't understand anything and is being formed by his parents. Yeah, so that really is the question, whose fault. Anyways, though, so the aunt's hey, Ben, we're going to call the little kid Ben. Ben, come say hi to your cousin. So Ben pauses, the iPad, walks over, is hello. And, the subscriber's hey, what's up, man? And anyways, so they go on. Nothing really that eventful happens for a little bit until, okay, so fast forward to the night. The subscriber's older. The subscriber's 18, 19 years old. So it's nighttime. It's let's say it's around 8 at night. And so they're all sitting on the couch or whatever. And it's the aunt, it's the subscriber's mom and dad, and it's the subscriber who we're calling Alex. So Alex is sitting on the couch, and they're talking about, oh, Alex, how was high school? It's around college time. So yeah, Alex is officially a senior, so college applications are going to be sent out pretty soon. So that's definitely what the discussion was. I remember when I was doing my whole college application thing, the last thing I wanted to talk about was my college applications, but it seemed to be the only thing that anyone around me wanted to talk about. So if you guys are going through that thing right now, I feel for you, bro. It's really not fun. Anyways, though, so the subscriber's little cousin, who we're calling Ben was sent to bed a while ago, but you hear you hear footsteps down the stairs, so you already know that for some reason Ben needs their attention. So Ben is just in tears. So immediately they're uh-oh, oh boy, what's going on? And Ben is trying to explain what's going on. So he's I really need to go pee, but I can't, because there's a Skibidi Skibidi Toilet. And at this point, like, the mom is just, it's like Ben was speaking freaking Chinese to her. Like, she had no idea what he was saying. And the mom's like, honey, what? Like, what? Okay, she didn't say it like that, but dude, imagine you're a parent and your kid says, I can't go pee because Skibidi Toilet, and then starts crying. Dude, I would just be like, you know what? I don't know if this whole parenting thing is cut out for me, man. I really think I made some mistakes down the line, and maybe I got to go to parenting classes at night. Maybe I got to get my PhD in how to parent because I have no idea what my son just said. Yeah, so at this point, right, the subscriber Alex knew, okay, he knew what, like, the Skibidi Toilet trend was. He thought it was kind of stupid. He was like, bro, are you serious right now? But he also knew that, like, he knew what it was. So he was able, okay, so he turned to the aunt. He's like, hey, I think I might know what's going on. And the aunt was definitely in a situation where, well, to put it lightly, she had no idea what was going on. Because in all fairness, if, like, a kid came to me, like, if I was in her position, I don't think it would be fair to expect her to understand what a freaking Skibidi Toilet thing is, bro. She's not on YouTube Shorts 24 hours a day, so she wouldn't know. Anyways, though, yeah, so sure enough, the subscriber's like, I think I know what's up. He's like, hey, it's like this thing on YouTube that I guess is scary to him, and he must watch a lot of videos. Unfortunately, I think he must think it's real. I can try and handle the situation. So, like, Alex's mom looks at him and kind of gives this, like, look of, like, yeah, okay. Like, this kind of look of approval, like, okay, I see you, son, stepping up, solving this. And, you know, Ben's mom's like, yeah, that'd be great. I don't know what he's talking about, so I really can't do anything. Let me know if you need any help, and thanks for trying to help. And he's like, yeah, of course, like, least I can do. Anyways, so, yeah, sure enough, the subscriber goes over to Ben, the little cousin, is like, hey, dude, what's up? And the little cousin's looking at him with just, like, his eyes brimming with tears. Real quick, though, if you made it this far into the video, I would like you to comment toilet down below. That'll be the secret word of the day, so I can see how many people made it this far into the video. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you've left a like and you are subscribed with notifications on. If you're listening to this on Spotify, make sure that you have followed the podcast and rated it 5 stars. And if you're on YouTube, I also post these on Spotify. It's in the description, but you can also just look up connorpugs. I'm pretty sure I'm the main result. Anyways, though, so yeah, the little cousin looks at the subscriber, his eyes filled with tears. It's like, I need to go to the bathroom so bad. But if I do, there's a Skibidi toilet in there. And the subscriber's like, dude, how do you know that there's a Skibidi toilet in there? Like, I just don't understand. Yeah, so the subscriber's like, bro, I don't know how to say it, but you got to trust me. All that Skibidi toilet stuff on YouTube, it just isn't real, bro. Like, I don't know how else to say it. It just isn't like a real thing. Like, he said, you know, like Star Wars isn't real. You know, dragons aren't real. Why do you think that Skibidi Toilet is real and also in your bathroom? Like, wouldn't it make more, like, that thing's been around for a while. Wouldn't it make sense that you would have seen it before? Like, why is it there now? And so the subscriber's little cousin's kind of just like, well, I mean, I don't know, like, if Skibidi Toilet's in there, but if he is, I'm, like, so dead, so I can't even risk it. Like, and I need to go to the bathroom so bad. So basically, this kid's logic was that, okay, I don't know if this is Schrodinger's Skibidi Toilet. Can't believe that word just came out of my mouth. That's so bad. Anyways, so it's like, well, I mean, I don't know until I witness and observe. You know, in my mind, it could be there, it could not be. But the second I observe, I'm now taking the risk that if it is there, well, then I'm dead. So might as well not even observe it, which I'm like, okay. If there was an actual chance that there was a Skibidi toilet, then I guess I could understand the logic. But bro, that's like saying, okay, I don't know if there's a spooky, scary monster under my bed, therefore I'm never going to sleep. It's like, bro, that's bad logic. Anyways, though, so the subscriber's like, okay, what if I go in there and check? And the little cousin has this, like, genuinely concerned look in his face and says, dude, like, I don't want you to die. And the subscriber's like, look, man, I'm going to be fine. Like, trust me on this one. And the little cousin's like, but if you die because Skibidi Toilet eats you or whatever it does, right? Then I'll be genuinely sad. Like, I'll feel responsible. Yeah, so anyways, right, sure enough, the subscribers is like, bro, trust me on this one. I got you. Like, no need to sweat on this. I'm going to go in there and I'll look for it. So anyways, the subscriber goes in and looks in the bathroom. And lo and behold, there's no floating head in the toilet. Wow, who would have thought? Anyways, though, so he opens up the bathroom, and the little cousin's like, okay. And the subscriber's like, okay, dude, but this can't, like, happen again. Like, I need to know that you know the Skibidi Toilet is not real, and it's not going to be in your bathroom. And this little cousin's like, yeah, I guess you might be right on that one. I mean, I guess. And the subscriber's like, you need to promise me that you know the Skibidi Toilet is not real and it's not in your bathroom, because I'm not flying down from Ohio down to Florida every single time that you need to check to see if there's freaking Skibidi Toilet in your bathroom. I'm not doing that. And the little cousin's like, yes, I guess you are right. You are correct. And perhaps, what is this? Now I'm playing. But he's like, yeah, I guess, fine. I can admit that maybe I was wrong on this. Anyway, so the little cousin goes to the bathroom. The subscriber walks downstairs. And the aunt is like, oh, so did he go to the bathroom? The subscriber is like, yeah, I got him to go to the bathroom. And the aunt's like, oh my God, that's awesome. Can you explain what you did? And the cousin or the subscriber is just looking at the aunt and really thinking to himself, okay, how do I explain this to someone without forcing them to consume YouTube Shorts for like 5 years? Like, this is probably going to be a harder challenge than convincing this kid to go to the bathroom. Like, this is the challenge, explaining what I just did. What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we have an absolutely insane story of a kid who attacks his dad with a BB gun because his dad doesn't let him watch any more Skibidi Toilet videos. Yeah, no, this is actually what happened, which honestly makes me lose faith in humanity a little bit, but this story is actually really funny too, so I know you guys will enjoy it. So leave a like on the video right now, and if you leave a like on the video, I will actually give you, I know you're not going to believe this because it's too good of an offer, but if you leave a like on the video right now, I will actually give you nothing. Yes, I'm not even joking. Leave a like for nothing. Subscribe to the channel if you're new with post notifications so you never miss a story. With that being said, let's just jump right into it. Anyways, right, so we're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Grant. So there's a kid in Grant's class who we're going to call Ben. By the way, I use Ben as like the secondary character all the time as a name. This is not the same guy in every single story. Don't actually think that. And so anyways, right, the subscriber submitted this story. We're going to call Grant. And there's this kid, Ben, right? And we're calling this kid Ben. And Ben was one of these kids, and I know you've probably noticed this a lot, and especially if you've been following my channel. I didn't realize how severe this was, but there's been a crazy outbreak of kids who've contracted what I'm going to call the Skibidi Toilet disease. Basically, these kids find like the Skibidi Toilet, whatever, which honestly, man, if you like that stuff, I honestly don't care. Like, you can like what you want. But if you're watching it for 25 hours out of the 24 hours of the day, then you might have a problem. Anyways, right, so there's been a whole range of kids who've basically just gone insane by watching this video 10,000 times every 5 seconds, right? And so anyways, right, Ben was a bit of a special case. So anyways, Grant and Ben were really close friends, and they have been close friends for a very long time, which makes this story a little awkward or a little bit uncomfortable, but basically Grant knew that he had to submit the story because it was really interesting and definitely fit the tone of the channel for now. So anyways, yeah, Grant and Ben used to be, or I guess still kind of are. You'll see it's a little complicated towards the end of the story. But they were very close friends for a very long time. So anyways, when they come back into the school year, they didn't really see each other over the summer because Grant was like visiting his grandparents that lived far away. And his parents just didn't really stick in their hometown for the summer, and Ben was in his hometown for basically the entire summer. So they didn't really see each other over the summer. So during that time, Ben's basically spent 12 hours a day inside watching Skibidi Toilet or whatever. It's not good. It's not good, man. You gotta have a life is my solution to this. Anyways, though, when he comes back, things seem kind of normal at first. Like, Grant and Ben immediately are like, hey, man, like, how's your summer? What did you do? Blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. Grant did notice that when he asked Ben, what did you do over the summer? Ben was noticeably absent from really saying much at all. He was like, oh, yeah, I was hanging out, whatever. instead of actually saying things that he did. But, that wasn't that suspicious or weird at the time. Grant just kind of like remembered that when looking back, like kind of like looking back on it, he realized that he's like, oh, I see. When he said he was like hanging out, he meant hanging out inside in his room watching Skibidi Toilet videos every single day. That was his definition of hanging out. Anyways, though, so yeah, eventually, like about a week into school, so this story actually happened about over a month ago at this point. About a week into school, they decide that the next like weekend they're gonna have a sleepover playdate type thing where Grant is gonna go over to Ben's house. Just because it's been such a long time since they've hang out, and it's like, it's like, hey man, it's been months. Let's just start the school year off on a blast, and it definitely started off on a blast, as you can tell by the as you can tell by the title of this video. But maybe my definition of blast isn't as positive, right? Maybe it's a blast as blast into the new reality of your friend Ben has actually gone insane because he contracted the Skibidi toilet disease. That is the blast that we're talking about here. Anyway, so let's jump ahead to the next week, that Friday night. So, or not that Friday night, I should say after school, instead of getting picked up by, or instead of being picked up by Grant's parents, Grant just went with Ben and they were picked up by Ben's parents. And Ben's parents were like, oh, like, Grant, it's been so long since we've seen you. I hope you had a really good summer. Like, we're so excited to have you over tonight. And things honestly were feeling good. Things felt like they were going back to normal and nothing was weird yet. So anyways, they get to the house. And so Grant had brought in his, like, along with his school backpack, he brought a little overnight bag in his locker, whatever. And they were walking into the house. And that's when, so it was it was Ben's mother that picked them all up. And Grant's father was Ben's father. Sorry, I always mix these things up and just deal with it. Anyway, so, Ben's father was in the kitchen. I think he was, like, sitting on the counter or whatever, maybe preparing the food that they were going to have that night. Anyways, they come in and, Ben's dad's like, oh, Grant, like, so great to see you, like, really excited that you're here. And then he kind of turns to Ben and he's like, hey, Ben, remember the time limit thing we're talking about? And Ben's like, yeah, I know. And that was kind of weird to Grant because Ben's parents had never really set like screen time limitations because Ben had always been a fairly outdoorsy kid. Like Ben had always been the kid who would he'd play video games or whatever. Like sure, they play Fortnite together. I don't know what they're doing, right? And they play some video games together. He had a phone, right? He was on the internet, like he would spend time like on his devices. However, he wasn't the kid who was literally on his devices 12 hours a day, man. He wasn't that kid who actually had a problem to the point at which his parents had to like genuinely come in and like fix things. And by the way, just because your parents set screen time limitations doesn't mean that you have a problem with screen time. Sometimes parents will just they want to make sure that a problem doesn't happen in the first place. Like, I know I never really had an issue with screen time as a kid, but I had my limitations. Like, I remember my Wi-Fi literally shut off for me after a certain amount of time, and honestly, I think that could be, I think that's kind of chalked up to pretty good parenting. But also, there's some situations where kids will have, like, screen time limitations because they have a problem, right? So it was a little bit weird because it just, like, never came up before, and Grant didn't think much of it, but obviously, with future context, he knows exactly why and exactly what the limitation was. Because it actually wasn't an overall limitation on, like, devices in general. I mean, it kind of was, but there was a specific reason why. Anyways, so Ben and Grant, they go up to Ben's room. So they go up to the room, and it's nothing's new. It's the exact same room as the last time that Grant was over there. And Grant was like, all right, man, like, what do you want to do? And this is where things go south. This is where things go south really quickly. So basically, Ben lived near this, like, very big forest type area, whatever. Like, he was still in a neighborhood, but, like, he was in his house, like, the front of his house was, like, facing towards the street and facing towards the neighbors on the other side. And he had neighbors to the left of him and the right of him. But behind his house was this really big, like, forest type area. And every single time that Grant would go over to Ben's house, they would always, they'd hang out for a second in his room, but then they'd almost immediately go out into the forest. And I don't know, man, when I was a kid, like, I would do stuff like we'd go out into the forest, we'd build, like, little forts or whatever. Sometimes we play imaginary lightsaber fights. Sometimes we play, like, imaginary, like, the enemies are there. You gotta, like, hide behind the trees or whatever, and you gotta snipe them properly. Like, I had a pretty active imagination as a child, and honestly, like, low-key, I should be getting that back. Like, I should be saying, like, screw adult stuff. I'm going to go into the woods and seem like a crazy person fighting imaginary, like, battle droids or whatever, because, man, that's just fun. I honestly don't care. Anyways, though, so, yeah, Grant's kind of expecting them to do something like that, and Ben's like, dude, you need to see this right now. Like, I've been waiting all summer to show you this. And he whips out his iPad. So Grant's like, oh, is there like a YouTube video or something? And he watches as Ben goes to a playlist that he made. And the playlist has like 50 videos in it. 50 videos. He's like, dude, we have to watch the whole thing. Grant's like, what? So yeah, basically what's happening is Ben is showing Grant basically the Skibidi Toilet compilation, all like 50,000 freaking episodes. So look, here's the thing. I know that there's some people in my comment section that do genuinely like the series and maybe would show their friends. And look, that's fine. I actually don't care if you like it, man. Like, I like stuff as a kid. I like stuff as an adult. Like, stuff that I like. Like, I know that me and my friend, like, we always like watching Star Wars, and like his suite, and I know his other suite mates I'm friends with, they're like, bro, Star Wars again, boys. And we're like, yeah, man. It's like, they don't have to like it. It's totally fine. But I'm also not forcing them down, strapping them to a chair and like wiring their eyes open, making them watch like a 60,000 hour lore compilation of Star Wars, even though I would personally enjoy that very much. Anyways, right, so, yeah, for the next hour, Grant is just bored out of his mind as Ben is sitting there watching the Skibidi Toilet episodes and mumbling to himself, Skibidi bop bop bop, yes, yes, Skibidi bop bop beep beep, Skibidi bop. And, like, Ben isn't even, like, paying attention to Grant, man. Like, Ben is not even noticing that Grant is not even watching. Like, Grant is finding more entertainment literally staring at the wall than watching the Skibidi Toilet episodes. Which, once again, guys, you can like what you want. But I think it's pretty clear that Grant is not deeply interested in the Skibidi Toilet lore, which I'm not going to say I can totally blame him for that. I'm not going to say that, wow, Grant, you're such a terrible person for not being deeply invested in the Skibidi Toilet lore videos. Like, I'm not going to come for his neck for that. You know what I mean? Anyways, so about 2 hours later, they're called down for dinner, and they go down there, kind of like Grant is like exhausted. He came in with all this energy, excited to see his friend, like, they're going to go out and play in the woods or whatever. And they're just watching Skibidi Toilet videos on his iPad. Anyway, so they sit down, and, Ben's dad was like, oh, so what have you boys been doing? And Ben's like, I was showing him all episodes 1 to 28 of Skibidi Toilet. And Ben's dad kind of looks at Grant and is like, Grant, so have you been enjoying that? And Grant's like, yeah, it's interesting. I definitely have never seen anything like it before. So by Grant's obvious lack of enthusiasm in his response, I think Ben's dad kind of picked up of, oh, yes, Grant is obviously not down for this. So Ben's dad is like, hey, Ben, like, you got to remember, remember the limitation. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes only of Skibidi Toilet every day, and you guys been up there for 2 hours, so after a half an hour, I'm going to come and take the iPad. And Ben is like, wait, but Dad, half an hour isn't long enough to get through all 50 episodes. Grant's like, praise God. Oh my God, this is the greatest moment of my life. Like, Skibidi Toilet's coming to an end. Yes. Yes. We win these. Anyways, right, so yeah, Grant is pretty happy about it, but Ben is just like trying to convince his dad. He's like, no, Dad, we need to watch all 50 episodes. How else is he not going to he's not going to understand the lore properly. Dad, come on. Like, oh my God. And his dad's like, no, we have very strict rules here, Ben. Like, you know how it is. Maybe after 30 minutes when I take your iPad, you guys can go out in the woods and do what you guys used to do. And in Grant's mind, he's like, okay, that's awesome. Like, probably what's going to happen is the dad's going to come up, take the iPad, Ben's going to be mad for a minute, and then we're going to go out and do exactly what we used to do, which is exactly what I came here to do in the first place. So anyways, they go upstairs, and Ben's like, dude, I'm so sorry about my dad. He just doesn't understand it. Like, I can definitely try and, like, sneak in, like, a little bit more, like, time to watch the Skibidi Toilet episodes, but I don't think we're going to make it to 50. I don't think we're going to watch all the parts, man. And Grant's like, oh, no, I'll just watch in my own free time or something. Like, don't worry about me, bro. Don't worry about me. It's not your concern. I will watch it in my own free time, maybe. Anyways, they go back up, and Grant continuously stares at the wall for another 30 minutes because he does not care. And eventually, the dad knocks on the door. And Ben's like, Dad, 10 minutes. And Dad's like, no, like, I actually am up here 5 minutes later than I was going to be. I gave you guys an extra 5 minutes. He's like, it's time for me to take the iPad. And Ben's like, dude, no, like, we're at episode 44. We're so close. Dad, you don't understand. And he's like, nope, I'm sorry. You have a very strict Skibidi toilet limit every single day. Which is honestly just so funny that the parents aren't even having like an internet limit. They're not even calling it like an iPad limit. They're literally calling it a Skibidi toilet limit. Like, that's how bad it was over the summer. That they just see their son watching this stupid... I'm not going to call it stupid toilet. Too many of you guys like it. They were just like... They were just noticing that he's watching this specific video again and again and again and again. And it's just like, they were like, okay, we need to limit this specifically. That's like my parents coming in and giving me a Star Wars limit when I was a kid, which, like, low-key, maybe I did need one. Just kidding, I had a great childhood. I love Star Wars. Anyways, though, yeah, so sure enough, the dad comes over and takes the iPad, and Ben's like, I'm gonna need that back right now. And Ben's dad's like, no. He's like, Dad, don't get on my angry side. Ben's dad's like, no, I'm taking this away. And if you keep talking back like me, if you keep talking back to me like that, you're only going to have 30 minutes of Skibidi toilet time tomorrow. And Ben's like, you wouldn't dare. And he's like, I would dare. You officially have 30 minutes of Skibidi toilet time tomorrow. And Ben's like, you what? And Ben is just like molding. His hair is falling out. He's so mad right now. And Grant is like, who is this kid? Because Grant used to be actually pretty good friends with this kid. And Grant is genuinely just like, who is this kid, bro? What? Real quick, if you made this far into the video, I'd like you to comment toilet down below if you're on YouTube. If you're listening to this on Spotify, just make sure you rated the podcast 5 stars. And yeah, let's get right back to it. Anyways, though, so yeah, they're just kind of sitting in the room. And Ben is literally just sitting on the floor. His fists are like crumpled up into like angry balls. Like, you know, you ball up your fist, whatever, when you're angry, like the angry Arthur meme, whatever. Yeah, so he is obviously very mad. And he's like, I'm getting that back no matter what happens. Anyway, so this is where the title of the video plays into the story. So yeah, basically, this is so insane. Ben also is like a big fan of like Nerf guns and BB guns and all those type of kind of like toy guns or whatever. There's a pretty big difference though between Nerf guns and BB guns. Like, Nerf guns are fun, and I actually like, low-key, like, I've been, like, me and my friends have been thinking about this, like, because a lot of them, like, live in a bunch of, like, dorms, a bunch of suites, whatever. If we had, like, a suite-wide, like, Nerf gun fight, that would honestly be so fun. Anyways, though, like, BB guns, like, those actually hurt. Like, yeah, you're not gonna die, most likely, from a BB gun shot, but that stuff actually stings. Like, it actually leaves marks on you, bro. Like, that's, like, taking it, honestly, to the next level. So, anyways, like, Grant's parents didn't let him have access to BB guns because they didn't like that. They thought Nerf guns were fine, but Ben's parents were fine with it. So Ben literally goes in and grabs one of his BB guns, and he's like, don't worry, Grant, we're watching all 50 episodes of Skibidi Toilet if it's the last thing I do. And Grant's like, dude, like, it's not that deep. Like, honestly, please don't do that. Like, like, this is going a little bit too far. Anyways, though, so yeah, Grant watches as Ben goes into his closet, grabs like a BB gun, and goes downstairs. Absolutely insane, by the way. I just want to have a disclaimer. Please do not replicate anything in my stories in general, but specifically this story. Like, you can actually seriously hurt someone with a BB gun, especially if you're not in the proper safety equipment, etc. You already know what I mean. And like, this is insane. I just want to have that disclaimer out there so you guys know that this is actually genuinely insane. You should not be doing this. And this is not an endorsement of this. It's just an insane story that I had to tell you guys. Yeah, so Grant is here is like Ben going downstairs. He's like, give me the iPad. I need to watch Skibidi Toilet. And Ben's dad's like, what are you doing with that BB gun? Like, we gave that to you for you to play with your friends when you're in full, like, when they're in full costume. You better not use that on me, mister, or you'll be grounded for a week. And, you know, Ben's like, give me Skibidi Toilet now. I'll count to 3. And obviously Ben's dad's like, you're already, like, you're going to be grounded tomorrow, but if you do anything now, you're going to be grounded for a month. So this point keeps escalating, and Ben's like, 1, 2, 3, and then you hear pop, 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 and he, like, you know, shoots all the little BB guns or whatever, and you hear Ben's dad be like, like, that stings. And Ben's dad, like, you can hear, stomps over, rips the BB gun out, and you can hear Ben be like, just give me the iPad, please, 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 please. Yeah, so about 10 minutes later of, like, you can hear muffled, like, screaming and yelling and whatever, hear a knock on the door. So Grant, like, opens the door, and it's Ben's mom. And Ben's mom's like, hey, Grant, like, this is so uncomfortable, and I'm so sorry. But it's okay. You can stay here for the night. But is there any way you can call your mom to come pick you up? Ben is just, he's in a lot of trouble right now. And, you guys have such a good time together, but he can't be seeing anyone right now. I'm so sorry for this being put on you. It's so last second. And if you can, it's totally fine if your mom's away or busy or just can't pick you up. You can so stay here. That's so fine. It just might be easier and maybe more comfortable for you too. So Grant's like, yep, no problems. Give me a phone. So anyways, Ben's mom hands Grant the house phone, calls up the mom. Grant's mom's like, hello. And he's like, hey, can you come pick me up? And she's like, are you okay? And Grant's like, yes, I'm fine. I didn't do anything wrong. Ben's just in a lot of trouble. I'll tell you about it in the car ride. So anyways, about like 30 minutes later, because they don't live that far away. Honestly, Grant could have walked, but whatever. Grant's mom pulls up, and Grant kind of leaves the house with his stuff, gets in the car, and Grant's mom's like, what happened? And Grant's like, you know what? Like, maybe drive a little bit farther because I got a story for you. And here it goes. Yeah, dude, I don't even know how to start this video. This might... I genuinely don't know how to start this video, man. But today we got a story that was submitted to me last night. I was going through my Instagram inbox, which if you want to submit stories, go to Instagram, look up connorpugs, and DM me your story. I was going through my inbox, and I found a story that said, simply, the first line was, kid tries to sacrifice me to Skibidi Toilet. And I just knew at that very second that had to be the story that we told today. Today I got a story for you guys submitted last night of a kid who tries to sacrifice the subscriber to Skibidi Toilet. In a whole ritual type thing, it's actually the most insane thing ever. I know you guys will enjoy the story, so I ask that you sit back, relax, leave a like on the video right now to claim your free nothing. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you are watching this and you are not already subscribed. If you want to get your free cringe goggles to survive this story, you need to be subscribed. With that being said, let's just jump right into it. Yeah, so anyways, we're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Will. So this happened extremely recently, meaning like a week ago, and I just got this story last night. There's been my whole inbox has been absolutely flooded with these Skibidi Toilet kids. So if you don't know, Skibidi Toilet basically is like this thing on YouTube. It's like this, it's this whole show, meme type, whatever. It doesn't really matter. But what is important is that there's a whole bunch of kids who've basically been infected by the Skibidi virus, basically. By the way, if you like the Skibidi Toilet, that's fine, man. I actually genuinely don't care. Like, you're allowed to like what you want. But please don't be sacrificing anyone, including me, to Skibidi Toilet, man. Like, I swear, if I walk in my dorm room and I see one of you guys with like a 10-inch knife saying like, hey man, sorry, but your time has come. It's time for you to be actually sacrificed to Skibidi Toilet, then, that's where I've gone wrong. But anyways, this story all starts a couple weeks ago. The whole thing goes down about a week ago, but it starts a couple weeks ago. So in the subscriber Will, in his class, there's a kid who we're going to call Ben, which, if you're new to the channel, you're probably confused why every single Skibidi Toilet, riggy, hater, cringy kid, whatever, they're always called Ben. That's just kind of a meme on the channel at this point. I was just really lazy with naming people, and I always call the secondary character Ben, and it kind of just became a meme. Anyways, we're going to call this kid Ben. So this kid Ben was actually quite a normal kid before this summer happened. I mean, it's not as if that Will and Ben were like boys, super tight, like they were the closest people ever. Like, that's definitely not true. Like, you're definitely right by saying that they weren't the closest people ever. However, Will tells me that Ben was actually a pretty normal kid before this summer happened. Yeah, so basically over the summer, there was a rise in popularity of the Skibidi Toilet, whatever meme show type thing with like the 50,000 part episode on like the Boom Guy, whatever's channel, like the Gmod thing. Anyways, that's not important. Basically, this kid, Ben, who is a fairly normal kid, by the way, they were in 4th grade before, now they're in 5th grade. Over the summer, he literally spent like 8 hours a day just watching Skibidi Toilet on his iPad, like literally just 8 hours per day. Like, some might say that if that was forced upon another person to force them to watch that for 8 hours a day for an entire summer, some might say that actually breaks the Geneva Convention. However, it doesn't if you do it to yourself, man. I mean, you're allowed to waterboard yourself, I think, right? I don't know, man. Anyways, right? Don't quote me on that. Anyways, though, so when this kid came back, similar to some of the other Skibidi Toilet kids. Literally the second he came back, they were all sitting in class, and Ben was a little bit late. So he enters in on the first day into the room, and he's immediately like, Skibidi bop bop bop, yes, yes, Skibidi bop bop beep beep, Skibidi bop bop bop. Like, just for the entire class. The entire class. And the thing is, like, for the first day, Ben sat kind of towards the back of the class, and Will is always kind of sitting towards the back of the class. And Will's the type of guy, he does his homework, bro. He does what he needs to do. But, he's also going to chill in class. He might want to go on his phone. He might want to talk to the boys, right? So Will's not necessarily going to be up in the front, paying attention to everything, which, like, low-key guys, you definitely should. Please pay attention in school. But Will admittedly doesn't do that much. So he just happened to be in the back of the class. And yes, this kid, Ben, was literally going, Skippy bop bop bop, yes, for the entire class, dude. Like, genuinely the entire class. Like, when I say the entire class, I don't mean most of the class. I don't mean some of the class. I don't mean, like, part of the class. I genuinely mean the entire class, man. Like, genuinely, the entire class. Like, he was just, every freaking second, bro. Every second. Yeah, so Will normally doesn't sit, like, it doesn't sit in the middle. Like, how there's kind of, like, in between the front and the back, there's kind of, like, a middle section where you're not, like, fully paying attention, but you can't be goofing off fully like you can in the back. Will actually started to sit in the middle section for this class, because it's the one class he had with Ben, because every single day, Ben would come in and just be like, Skippy bop bop bop, Skippy bop bop beep. And he was too far in the back for the teacher to notice or overhear, because he wasn't, like, screaming it. He was muttering it under his breath. Like, it actually, like, by the end of 2 weeks into school, there were almost no kids sat in the back of the class. And if they did, they sat as far away from Ben as possible, because it was actually, like, it was almost like water drip torture, bro. Like, it's not that bad at first, but then if you just hear that for days and days and days, you actually will go clinically insane. This is a proven fact. It's called Skibidi Bop Toilet torture methods. It's probably one of the most heinous torture methods out there. It is extremely illegal, and you will be punished with 100,000 years in jail if you perform that on someone else, because it's actually the worst thing you can do to another human being. Guys, I am not joking. Anyways, right, so this story, that's just like a little bit of context so you guys understand what I mean when I say Ben is a Skibidi Toilet kid. I just want to be as absolutely as clear as possible. So okay, 2 weeks ago, Friday. So so it's like Friday, they're about to go back. And so anyways, it's, Friday is always vibes. Everyone loves it. Like, you're thinking about, all right, I'm going to chill with the boys on the weekend. Like, it's going to be a good time, right, man? So anyways, Will, the subscriber, is at his locker getting his stuff. He's talking to his boy, Alex, and Alex is like, hey, man, I'll see you tonight, because they were going to, like, I don't know, Alex was going to come over, and a couple other boys were going to come over. They're going to be playing some Lego Star Wars on the Wii. Like, you already know it's about to be a valid time. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, though, so Will now is just kind of like at his locker by himself, and it's almost like a little spooky. Like, I'm going to try and set the scene a little bit, man. It's almost like a little bit spooky. Like, there's, what am I trying to say? Like, there was, it was like, no one else was in that, like, the hallway, because it was enough past the time the bell is rung that enough kids have gone. It's not like no one's in the building. It's not like 2 a.m. or something, right? But it's enough past time that it's, I don't know, man. It's like, it's kind of eerie. And then, so Will's kind of just at his backpack, at his locker, taking stuff out of his locker, putting into his backpack. He throws his backpack on over his shoulder, turns around, boom! He's immediately face to face with Ben, not the Minecraft kid. I made 1,000 Minecraft kid videos. I'm so used to saying that. Boom! He's turned face to face with the Skibidi Bop Toilet kid, Ben. And remember, him and Ben aren't friends. It's not as if that they're arch enemies. Like, it's not as if that they're, like, the opposition, bro. It's not as if, like, when he's like, all right, man, these are the people. But, like, he's not going to be, bro. What I'm trying to say is, like, they're not. They don't hate each other. They just don't hang out. So it's very weird. It's immediately super weird. And Ben, it looks like bro's possessed, bro. It looks like he's actually being possessed by a demon. Dude actually looks like he's been, I don't know, converted. Like, dude, it's so weird. Anyways, so Will's like, what's up? Because Ben is, like, he turns around. Remember, like, this is startling because Will doesn't realize that anyone is in, like, the hallway with him. And all of a sudden he turns around. Ben is, like, literally 6 inches away from his feet, dude. Like, it's actually insane. He's actually away from his feet, away from his face. He's actually 6 inches away from his face and just breathing. And he has this, like, little smile or whatever. It's really freaking creepy, dude. It's what I'm trying to say. So anyways, Will's like, yo, like, dude, like, honestly, I don't know what I would say in that situation. I genuinely don't know what actually anyone would say in that situation. It's not really a situation it's not really a situation I find myself in that often, if I'm being honest, man. Anyways, though, so yeah, all Ben does is he looks at him with a smile, and then very, like, quietly, he's like, skippy bop bop bop, yes, yes, skippy bop bop, peep, peep. And Will is like, dude, what the fuck? Dude, what the what? Huh? Like, dude, I'm genuinely so lost right now. Like, I am genuinely more lost than I've been in, like, all of my math classes, bro. I'm actually so confused. So Will's like, all right, bro, peace. See you Monday. And all you hear is, like, Ben looking at him, staring with a smile. It's like, skippy pop pop pop, yes, yes, skippy pop pop beep beep. And, like, Will gets out of there. He's like, hell no, bro, I'm out of here, bro. So anyways, Will's kind of walking out of there, and he's just like, the weirdest thing ever. So anyways, at the sleepover or whatever, he kind of brings up that whole thing, and his friends were like, dude, that's weird. And Alex was like, bro, like, that's really weird, bro. Like, that's really strange. Because Will was hoping that they were going to say, oh, no, the kid's being weird. Like, you're getting nervous over nothing, man. You're getting nervous over nothing, which, I mean, you guys know the title of this video. Very clearly, he's not getting nervous over nothing, per se. Yeah, so, anyways, yeah, he was really hoping that, like, his friends would say, oh, no, you're not making a big deal out of it. So anyways, next week in school, Monday. Comes in on Monday, has actually completely forgotten about the weird incident with, like, Ben, the Skibidi Bop Toilet kid. Completely forgot about that whole incident, right? And once again, it's towards the end of the day, and he's kind of hanging out with a few of his other friends. Actually, Alex is there too. And they're in the same spot as before, so he's at his locker. And Alex is, like, facing one way, and Ben is facing the other, so they're, like, looking at each other. And Ben is just like, oh, sorry, not Ben. Will is just chatting up with Alex, and he just sees Alex, like, have a weird look on his face. And he's like, what, bro? And Alex is like, yo, dude, turn around and look behind you. So, yeah, sure enough, Will turns around, and he looks, and he sees, like, around the corner, this Skibidi Bop Toilet kid is such a funny name. Ben, right, is just, like, creeped around the corner, like, looking at him. Like, he is, like, just a little bit of his head peeking around the corner, so just, like, his eyes peeking out. Dude, it's actually, like, the most uncomfortable, creepy thing you've ever seen. So this completely reminds Will of what happened that last Friday, and he's like, dude, like, Alex, you remember that kid I was telling you about? And Alex is like, yeah. At this point, Ben is like, he like ran away or something because he realized he was caught. And he's like, dude, remember that kid I was telling you about who's being all weird? And Alex is like, yeah. He's like, dude, that's the kid. And Alex is like, dude, you're actually screwed if that's the kid. Like, that's so creepy. And Will's like, dude, like, shut up. Like, I'm not actually screwed. Like, it's just some stupid kid, right? And Will's like, Alex is like, dude, I don't know about that, man. Like, that's kind of creepy, man. Like, that's not a normal thing to do. Like, what you're witnessing right now is genuinely not normal, bro. Like, it's actually really weird. Yeah, so sure enough, it's just kind of like, it's just an uncomfortable situation, you know what I mean? Like, bro, if I was in this situation, I actually don't know what I would do. I think I'd need to be surrounded by my friends at all times. I wouldn't go to the bathroom alone. I wouldn't do anything alone. I would need to, like, coordinate my movement with everyone. And, I don't know, maybe I'd go on the dark web and put a hit on the Skibidi Toilet. I'm just kidding. I'd never do that. Don't do that. Anyways, so yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All I can really say about these days is kind of like the strange occurrences just keep happening. Like, they just keep on happening. I guess that's all I can really say. It's just like Ben is showing up at really weird times where it makes actually no sense for him to show up. His locker is basically on the other side of school. The only class they have together is that first class. And, like, every single day in class, like, so once again, Will's not sitting in the back of the class, he's sitting in the middle, but every single day, he just, like, feels the feeling. You know the feeling of, like, someone's looking at you and, like, you turn around and no one's there? Well, imagine you have that feeling and you turn around and Skibidi Bop Toilet Kid Ben is just staring at you. Bro, it's, like, actually the scariest thing ever. Yeah, so it's just been a really weird week. And once again, Ben is in the same position that he was a second ago. Not a second ago, exactly a week ago. And this happened 1 week ago, right? So he is once again at his locker and he even told his friends, is like, yo, boys, like, don't leave without me. But, you know, things happened, whatever. I think they got distracted and yeah, they walked back without him, which like L friends, I guess. But also sometimes, bro, you just forget these things. It's normally not that deep. If it's like, I don't know, man, if your friends are like consistently leaving you behind or whatever, then that's kind of an issue. And maybe you should either have a conversation with them or reassess your friendship. But if it happens once in a while, man, like I'm so forgetful, bro. Like I just forget to do things. Like, I don't know if you guys are Star Wars fans, but the Ahsoka series was, I thought it was pretty good. I know there's a lot of people being mad at it, and it wasn't like, there's some things I wish I wanted, but my friend and I every Tuesday would go ahead and watch it. I remember like at 9 o'clock, like that was the plan to watch it. And at 9:15, I was talking to one of my friends. I'm like, oh my God, I completely forgot. So sometimes, man, it just happens. But unfortunately, this was the worst timing possible for this to happen. So anyways, not Ben, Will is at his locker, grabbing his stuff. Once again, it's on the later side. I think Will was chatting up some girl or something, so he got there a little bit late. No one is really there. And he turns around and he sees the Skibidi Toilet Kid again. And Will at this point is like, dude, like, you've been like following me around. What's up? Like, there's genuinely something up. So at this point, he just kind of confronts the kid. And Ben just grabs onto Will. Like, he just grabs onto him and starts dragging him towards the bathroom. And Will's like, yo, dude, like, what gives? This kid actually turns out to be surprisingly really strong. Like, surprisingly really strong. Like, the kid didn't look like a weak kid, if that makes sense. He didn't look extra weak, but he also didn't look extra strong. Like, you know those kids that are just, like, sneaky strong? Like, you don't even see it coming, but they're actually, like, sneaky super strong. Obviously, they're not going to bench 6,000 pounds, bro, because you got to be a little big for that. But, something like, you can actually be really strong, and it doesn't look that way. Anyways, though, so basically drags him into the bathroom. And, dude, it is the weirdest thing ever. In the bathroom, there's, like, candles lit. And, like, the light is, like, turned off. So the only thing you can see is, like, the bathroom is illuminated by candlelight, bro. It's actually the spookiest thing ever. Real quick, though, if you made it this far into the video, I'd like you to comment toilet down below. That'll be the secret word of the day. And we'll just, I really like just to see how many people made it this far into the video, as it does help me out. And if you're listening to this on Spotify, make sure you rated the podcast 5 stars and you've answered the poll, Q&A question, whatever. And finally, I just want to say, if you're listening to this on YouTube or Spotify, whichever platform that you listen to my stories on, if maybe both, I don't know, the way that you can best support the channel, and is the best way to support the channel, hands down, is just to sit down and like binge watch a bunch of my videos. Like, you can be drawing, I don't know, playing video games, trying to go to sleep. But also, if you made it as far into the video after commenting the secret word of the day, also comment down below, like, maybe how many videos you've watched in a row or what you do while watching my videos. I just really want to see what you guys have to say. Of like, just the people who've like binge watched the videos really has helped out the channel, especially recently. If you want to know the best way to help out, it's just sitting down and watching a bunch of videos. So if that's something that you do, please let me know so I can personally say thank you, maybe heart your comment. I'm trying to get to as many comments as I can. There's just a lot of them, which I appreciate, but I really will try and say thank you if you do that, because it actually does help me out a lot. Yeah, but let's get back to the story, because I kind of did my little ad break thing in a pretty interesting spot of the story, if you know what I mean. So anyways, Ben drags Will into the bathroom. Will's like, dude, what are you doing? Drags him into the bathroom. Will's basically stunned, because he goes into the bathroom. It's like not pitch black, but the lights are off, and there's like candles that have like lit around. All 2 of the 3 stalls are closed. One of them is open. The toilet seat is up. And you hear, like, from like a mysterious speaker or something, like, Skibidi bop bop bop, yes, yes, Skibidi bop bop beep beep. Like, you hear the freaking song, the annoying song, bro. Okay, guys, if you like that song, it's fine. What I find annoying, you might love, and what you might find annoying, I might love. Like, that's super fair. But, bro, if you've been listening to this for, like, months and months and months and getting spam with it, then, like, literally anything would be annoying if you get spam with it that much. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, though, so, yeah, Will is just like, what? And Ben, the kid, is like, Skibidi, I have a sacrifice for you. And at this point, Will is like, Will was like, bro, I genuinely, like, felt weird about this, but this, I never saw, like, this is a whole new level. So anyways, because like Ben kind of steps away for a second to like speak to quote unquote Skibidi, which is meaning he literally speaking to a toilet right now. Bro might actually need psychiatric help. Like, oh my God. Anyways, though, like at this point, like this gives Will a second to break free. So Will turns around, sprints. Like what he does is like there's a candle on like the what's it called? Like the sink or the sink area. So he turns around, knocks over the candle, which like the two candles were right next to each other. So knocks them both over. So the place goes pitch black, and then he goes straight because that's where the door is. Goes through the store, runs down to the hallway, picks up his backpack super quickly out of his locker, immediately whips out his phone and calls Alex. He then goes over to debrief Alex of what just happened, and Alex is like, Cap. And he's like, bro, like, come now. And Alex is like, okay, whatever. So Alex, like, because they live really close. Alex walks back, and as soon as Will opens up, like, the door to, like he opens up the door, leaves the school. Alex looks at him kind of laughing, but then Alex stops laughing because he sees Will's face, which is a face of genuine terror and dread. And Alex is like, dude, what? And Will's like, go, go, go. So at this point, they both start like running, and Alex is like, dude, what's going on? And Will's like kind of turns back for a second. He's like, look. And Alex looks back, and he sees the door slowly open, and he sees like the Skibidi Toilet Kid slowly walking out. And Alex is like, dude, what? And so that's where the story cuts off. This story is super recent. Literally the subscribers went back to school yesterday on Monday. And I got this story last night. I'm going to be getting updates, or I'm going to at least ask this kid for updates. I can't guarantee that I'm going to get a part 2, but I'll definitely ask for a part 2. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel with the post notifications on, so you'll be notified when the part 2 comes out. Leave a like in the video, or else, I don't know. And support the channel by watching another video right now, and peace. What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we got a story time of a psycho Skibidi Toilet Kid. These kids are coming out of the woodworks, man. I didn't realize how bad the Skibidi Toilet Syndrome was, but it's bad. Basically, this kid bit the subscriber in class because he didn't say that Skibidi Toilet was the greatest thing ever. Yeah, guys, I'm not even kidding. This is an absolutely crazy story that I know you'll enjoy. So leave a like on the video right now, and if you leave a like on the video, I will actually personally hand deliver you absolutely nothing at all. Yeah, it's a pretty great deal, so subscribe to the channel with notifications if you're new, and with that being said, let's just jump right into it. So this story was submitted to me a couple weeks ago by this guy we're going to call Ryan. He was a subscriber, or he is a subscriber of the channel. And basically, over the summer, I've said this a few other times, but there's been like an epidemic of like these Skibidi Toilet kids. So the Skibidi Toilet thing is like some kind of like YouTube Gmod show or whatever. I don't even know how to describe it. There's nothing necessarily wrong with enjoying it, but if it kind of becomes your life, like it genuinely becomes your life, then, well, I don't know how else to say it, but bro, please get a life if it becomes your life, bro. So there's been a lot of kids recently that I've been denoting as Skibidi Toilet Kids, where basically they can't stop singing the song. They watch the Skibidi Toilet videos 25,000 hours a day. And yeah, so in Ryan's class, there's a kid who we're going to call Ben, which, by the way, to all the new subscribers, this is not the same guy, right? When I call one kid Ben, it's literally just a placeholder name. I just happen to use it every single time. So yeah, no, it's not one kid named Ben who's terrorizing like the entire schools by becoming like a Skibidi Toilet Kid everywhere. Anyways, though, so we're going to call this kid Ben. Ben was a fairly normal kid the year before, but I guess over the summer he had just watched 10,000 hours of Skibidi Toilet videos, and he came back an absolute menace. Literally every single day, when Ryan would get to school, he would get off the bus, it's 7-something a.m. He's tired. He was up late last night, like watching like YouTube videos or something. He should have gone to bed, but he was up at 3:45 watching two men build like a house or whatever, like one of those videos, man. But anyways, he's tired. Ryan doesn't want to be there. And he every single morning, he's greeted to the sound of Ben going, Skippy bop bop bop, yes, yes, Skippy bop bop beep. And he just like, oh my God, dude, it's actually like, you know how like if someone plays the sound of your alarm that you use every morning, it like gives you like a flashback and makes you like super uncomfortable. Well, basically the same thing happened here where like it was almost like a flashback to the day before when this kid was, it's just like such an uncomfortable, unsatisfying sound. Not because it was inherently annoying, which I mean, I think it's a little annoying, but if you hear that every single day and every single moment of your life is graced by the presence of the Skibidi Toilet Kid singing the song, you'd be a little bit annoyed too. Unfortunately, Ryan had 2 classes with Ben, and the second class was towards the later end of the day. So the first class was right away, first thing. So that's why every single day he was greeted by that interesting song that this kid would not stop singing. Anyways, though, so this all happened a couple weeks ago. So it's been about a month since this kid has come back, and Ryan was assuming that this kid would eventually kind of lose the Skibidi toilet obsession, whatever. But no, this kid genuinely just keeps going hard. Like, this kid does not stop for anything, man. He genuinely just keeps going on and on and on. And instead of his like obsession dying away, because like it really, with these obsessions, like, so, I don't know, when someone's like obsessed with a YouTuber or you're obsessed with something, I don't know, like it's really bad for a little bit, but over time it just seems to fade away. But for this one, the Skibidi Toilet obsession, almost like with some kind of like brain worm infection type thing, it got worse with time, not better. Yeah, so anyways, on a fateful day, about a couple weeks ago, Ryan was just trying to, survive his class. He doesn't want to be there. It's late towards the end of the day. It's a Monday, so it's not even like, I don't know. I always felt like the vibes late Thursday and especially like late Friday. You're just like, hey man, Friday's around the corner, especially if it is Friday, or like the weekend's coming up. Like, I don't know. I feel like you can make it through a little bit better. But there's just something uniquely depressing about Monday in the fact that, like, I don't know, man, it's late on Monday just for Tuesday to come around. Like, bro, come on now. Let's get a little bit closer to the weekend, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, though, yeah, so it was late on a Monday. It was the second class that Ryan had with Ben. And as always, and not actually as always, Ben had become worse. Like, he was always, like, singing something, like, he was always doing something annoying. But on this day, he was just like, he decided, like, Ben normally sat kind of far away from Ryan, but today he sat right behind Ryan. So Ryan just heard, Skippy pop pop pop, yes, Skippy pop pop beep, just every second of the day. Even me just telling this story, I'm getting irritated. Like, I'm genuinely getting irritated from 1 second of hearing that song. When in reality, if I was in Ryan's situation, I'd have to hear it every single freaking day, dude. I don't think I could actually survive that. I think that would be my reasons 1 through 13, bro. Anyways, though, so yeah, sure enough, during class, Ryan is sitting there trying not to leave the classroom out of like a freaking mental breakdown from hearing the song every second for every minute or whatever. And that's when he gets a tap on the back of his shoulder. So sure enough, Ryan looks around behind him and the Skibidi Toilet Kid is like, yo, I got a question. And Ryan's like, yeah, what's up? And Ben's like, and Ryan's like, yes. Do you like Skibidi Toilet? And Ryan's just like, what? And Ben's like, did you like Skibidi Toilet? And Ryan's like, at this point, Ryan is just like so, like, just annoyed with everything. Like, just so annoyed with, like, Ben, annoyed with life. You know, it's a Monday morning, bro. I get that. He's just kind of, like, frustrated and just, like, not wanting to hear any of this. So, like, and especially since this kid had gotten worse, and he also had been humming the theme song for 20 minutes behind him. Basically, the same sound as, like, nails on a chalkboard to Ryan at this point. So Ryan says, no, I do not like it. Which, honestly, maybe he should have just been like, yeah, sure, it's whatever, just to make this kid go away. But Ryan so Ryan says, no, I don't like it, and turns around, and audibly hears a, like, a massive gasp, right? And some other kids are, like, turning their heads now, because the Skibidi Toilet Kid is not making a scene, if that makes sense. Like, he is making this such a big deal. And he's like, excuse me, I must have heard you incorrectly, so I will give you another opportunity. Do you, yes or no, like Skibidi Toilet? And Ryan turns around again and says, I heard you right the first time, and you heard me right the first time too, but I'll double down and say it again. No, Skibidi Toilet is stupid, it sucks, and I hate it. And Ryan turns around again. I think Ryan was just in a really bad mood at this point, which I kind of get it. It's a Monday and this kid is being extra annoying today. Extra annoying is like on top of the usual annoying that he is every other day. You know what I mean? Like it's at some point it's like, all right, man, he's got to be stopped. Yeah. So Ryan like turns around and is like, yeah, no, I'm not. Like, I don't care. He starts hearing like a huffing and puffing noise behind him. He hears like a little like low growling noise from Ben. So Ryan's like, dude, what? Yeah, so anyways, Ryan is like, oh boy, like, I really set this kid off. Ryan at this point, like, didn't care because he's like, what is he going to do? Like, tell me that Skibidi's going to come after me or something? Like, that I should watch my toilet or else? Yeah, but anyways, right, so he hears Ben behind him be like, you. He says it like the, dude, it was like freaking like Gollum from Lord of the Rings, like that voice. It was low-key kind of creepy. So yeah, sure enough, Ryan turns around and is like, what? And he just sees like Ben like hunched over. Both of his fists are clenched so tight that he thought all of his fingers were going to snap in half. Like two clenched fists pressed into the table. He's hunched over. He's like looking down. He's like, you dare say that Skibidi is stupid? You don't know what you just did, mister. And obviously, like, Ryan is not intimidated by this. I'm sorry, the Skibidi Toilet Kid is not the most intimidating character. Like, I don't know, man. Like, this guy was, like, 6'2", 350 pounds, could bench, like, the whole school and still, like, do that for reps, then, yeah, okay, maybe he'd be a little intimidating. But bro was not built like that. Bro was not built in an intimidating fashion. But still, like, Ryan's like, okay. So Ryan turns around, hoping that this kid would, like, be mad and then just give up and just go back to humming his little song or whatever. But eventually, he feels like, he feels like Ben. He can kind of feel in his peripheral that, like, Ben is moving. And he kind of sees in the corner of his eye that, like, Ben gets out of his chair and then goes on all fours. He's like, what? He doesn't want to turn around because he's like, oh, hell no, I'm not looking at that, bro. Anyway, so, like, he kind of sees in the corner of his eye, like, Ben is, like, on the floor, like, crawling around. He's like, nah, dude, like, this kid's actually psycho. Like, this kid is genuinely insane. I want absolutely nothing to do with this kid, which, honestly, man, that's pretty understandable. So, anyways, he's sitting there, and Ryan's trying to, like, I don't know, he's trying to, like, get back into the class. He's trying to, like, get back to whatever, you know, Miss Johnson is talking about. Like, trying to, like, lock back in or whatever. And that's when he feels this, like, burning, tingling sensation in his leg. And he looks down, and the Skibidi Toilet Kid has latched on, like, both hands on his leg and literally took a big bite into his thigh. So, obviously, Ryan's like, ow, like, what are you doing? And at this point, everyone, including Miss Johnson, looks around to see the Skibidi Toilet Kid biting into, like, Ryan's leg. So Ryan, like, kicks him off. And the Skibidi Toilet Kid, he doesn't go flying. Like, it's not like he flew 50 feet into the wall and, like, blew up or something. But, you know, he kicks him off and he kind of, like, stumbles over. And Miss Johnson's like, what is going on over here? Yeah, anyways, guys, if you made it this far into the video, I want you to comment toilet down below. That'll be the secret word of the day. And if you're listening on YouTube, make sure you are subscribed to notifications. And if you're listening on Spotify, make sure you have followed the podcast and rated it 5 stars. Anyways, let's get right back to the story. So anyways, right, Miss Johnson is like, Ben, what are you doing? And, yeah, so Ben decided to basically plead insanity. And by that, I mean, he says, Ben yells out, he disrespected Skibidi. And obviously, like, everyone in the class is like, what? So some kids kind of knew what it was, but, like, no one, like, they're just like, what? And, dude, like, Miss Johnson, bro, was just like, I think Miss Johnson thought that she was having a stroke because she's like, that kid just literally didn't say English right there. Like, that kid genuinely just spoke a different language that I don't understand. Yeah, so Miss Johnson's like, what? Miss Johnson is, like, too confused. So Miss Johnson was pretty mad, like, a second ago. But honestly, at this point, I think Miss Johnson is just genuinely too confused to even be mad at this point. She's going to be mad again in a second. But this was basically like your Pokemon stun attack or whatever. You stun them or confuse them or whatever with saying, he disrespected Skibidi Toilet. Like, dude, if I'm, like, a grown adult, like, if and I'm a teacher, right, and some kid says, I bit this kid because he disrespected Skibidi Toilet, dude, I think I would I think I just choose a new profession. I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to go to trade school and become a mechanic because obviously being a teacher is just simply not for me. So Ms. Johnson's kind of like, what? No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what he said. Like, you were going to the principal's office right now. You can't be biting kids in class. Come with me. So Ben is like, no, I'm not leaving until Ryan apologizes for disrespecting Skibidi Toilet. And Ryan says, what? Like, no. Like, Miss Johnson, like, what? Miss Johnson's like, wait, what did you say? And, Ryan's like, dude, like, there's this, like, YouTube thing, and so, like, a guy in a toilet, and I said it was stupid, so he bit me. Like, I'm obviously not in the wrong. And the teacher's like, yeah, I don't know what that means, but... yeah, you can't be biting people. Turns back to Ben, and Ben's like, I'm not going anywhere until I get a full written apology, which, like, bro, you're not even getting a casual, I'm sorry, bro. Like, you're not even getting one of those. Yeah, so at this point, Ben's like, if I don't get an apology right now, I'm going to bite him again. And Ryan's like, no, you're not going to bite me again. And Ryan, like, stands up at this point. And I think the teacher was, like, a little bit afraid that there's going to be, like, a fight that breaks out, which Ryan was not. Look, Ryan's not going to get suspended for fighting a kid who bit him over Skibidi Toilet because explaining that to his parents might actually kill them. So Ryan was not going to get in a fight, but he can totally understand why Miss Johnson, like, was a little worried about that because it kind of does make sense. He stood up or whatever. But, yeah, Ryan basically stands up to make sure that he can escape, and he's very agile before this kid pounces and gives him a Skibidi Toilet bite attack or whatever he's going to say. So, yeah, Miss Johnson quickly rushes over and, like, grabs Ben, and he's like, you're coming with me. And Ben's like, no, I cannot allow Skibidi disrespect to happen. And so, yeah, Ben's basically being dragged out of the classroom as he's screaming, like, no, how dare he disrespect Skibidi? How dare he? And, the door closes, whatever. So all the kids now are just staring at Ryan, and Ryan's like, dude, I don't know. This kid is always singing that song, that stupid song from YouTube. I said it was stupid, and then he bites me, and yeah, I don't know. So all the other kids, like, some of them kind of, like, laugh a little bit because it's just such a ridiculous situation. And yeah, so Ryan kind of just sits down and is like, okay, dude, like, whatever. And yeah, the next day, the Skibidi Toilet kid comes back, and Miss Johnson, like, forces him to apologize to Ryan, but you could just tell that Ben is like, I'm so sorry. Like, it wasn't a good apology, but honestly, Ryan doesn't care. He didn't even need the apology, but he's like, okay, yeah, whatever, man. So yeah, moral of the story is don't contract the Skibidi Toilet disease. It will rot your brain, 100%. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to a brand new story. Today we got a story time of a Skibidi Toilet kid who blows up his school, dude. Yeah, we got quite an interesting one today. So leave a like on the video to claim your free nothing. Subscribe if you're new and like stories. And with that being said, let's just jump right into it. So anyways, we're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Brian. So there was an infection that went around last summer, and it's not like, I don't know, it's not the common cold. It's not the C word thing that YouTube gets mad at, or at least they used to. It was a new type of infection that people really didn't see coming. And it took, the population by storm. Unfortunately, it had its most profound effects on the youth, ages around 6 to 14. And this is, of course, known as the Skibidi Toilet virus. Basically, these kids would go on YouTube. They'd find these Skibidi Toilet videos, and then they would just watch them for 25 hours every single day. And when they would return back to school, they would be unable to communicate with mere mortals, only being able to communicate in Skibidi Toilet songs. Yes, the virus was near fatal. The only survivors are those subscribed to this channel. It grants you immunity to the Skibidi Toilet disease, so go ahead and do that, just for your own safety, right? But anyways, we're calling this subscriber who submitted this story of this specific Skibidi Toilet kid, Brian. So yeah, this all started a couple months after summer, so I don't know, like October or something. And there's this kid who we're going to call Ben, because of course we are. Anyways, right, so Ben was unfortunately one of those infected with the Skibidi Toilet disease, the Skibidi Toilet virus, and he got a pretty bad case. So just to paint the picture here, on the first day of back to school, basically Ben came into class and immediately was like, Skibidi bop 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 bop, yes, yes. Like immediately went into it, did the whole theme song, whatever. And when other people, including Brian, tried to communicate with him, they honestly had no chance because he would just be like, Skibidi Toilet, like he would just scream at them. And yeah, after 5 seconds of being in class, he started like riling in pain. So obviously the teacher, thinking that he had like was having like an aneurysm or something, was like, oh my God, like, Ben, are you okay? And Ben was like, need Skibidi. And then he like reaches into his backpack and pulls out his iPad. And then all of a sudden you hear screws and like Skibidi bop. Yeah, you hear that freaking song, dude. It actually gives me, it really just reduces my brain cells, logarithmic decay on this one. It's just every single time I sing that song. So just realize whenever I even mumble the song, I'm really sacrificing so much for the quality of this story for you guys. So make sure you have left a like on this video. I mean, you kind of have to at this point, unless you're truly a cruel and heartless individual. Anyways, though, so this kid, Ben, yeah, okay, he socialized a little bit better, and by that I mean by 2 months in, he wasn't only talking in Skibidi Bops, like he was like hello, and then he would just go on his iPad and put on his like AirPods or whatever, and then just watch Skibidi Toilet in class. Like, it was really bad. He caught like a really bad case of this disease, man. Anyway, so yeah, 2 months later, this all happened a random day in October. So Brian was just kind of just chilling in class, and the Skibidi Toilet kid right away immediately asked to go to the bathroom. So Brian didn't really think much of it because the Skibidi Toilet kid would either choose to watch his Skibidi Toilet videos in class, or the Skibidi Toilet kid would choose to watch his Skibidi Toilet videos in the bathroom and literally like bring his backpack out of the bathroom. Yeah, I think the teacher was kind of aware that something was up because, dude, what are you doing bringing your backpack to the bathroom? Like, if you're in high school, the teacher's going to assume that you're, like, I don't know, vaping or something. Oh, yeah, by the way, if I sound a little muzzly or whatever, it's because I caught whatever's going around, man. I'm definitely sick right now. It's really unfortunate because it is finals right now. Of course, the only time that I get sick this year, because I have a pretty good immune system, is when I have finals. Anyways. So yeah, this all felt like a normal day at first. Because the kid, as usual, the Skibidi Toilet kid, was just going to the bathroom. Sure, he was bringing his backpack, but this is honestly nothing out of the new. And so the subscriber kind of didn't even think anything of it. And when the Skibidi Toilet kid would go to the bathroom, right, and he would not come back to class. He would literally just leave and watch Skibidi Toilet the entire time. So anyways, Brian's kind of sitting there. He's kind of, I don't know, playing Clash of Clans on his phone, low-key. Then he starts to feel like he has to pee, so he raises his hand. He's like, Miss Davenport, like, can I go to the bathroom? She's like, sure, Brian, just be quick. That always kind of annoyed me a little bit in school. I understand what they're saying, like, don't dally around, like, don't mess around, dude. But at the same time, it's like, I'm going to the bathroom. I'm exerting my bodily functions. Like, oh, no, like, okay, yeah, do you want me to do half of my number 2 in the bathroom and half of it in the classroom to, like, keep time? Or what are we talking about here? Yeah, so sure enough, right, the subscriber walks over to the bathroom, opens up the door, and as he expected, the Skibidi Toilet kid, Ben, was still in the bathroom, as expected. However, there was something unexpected that was happening. Yeah, so anyways, in the bathroom, the Skibidi Toilet kid, what he would normally do, because one time before, Brian went to the bathroom and the Skibidi Toilet kid was in there going to the bathroom. One time before. And what he would normally do is he would pick one of the stalls, lock it, and then take the iPad out of his backpack, and then you'd hear this Skibidi bop bop bop, yes, that. You'd hear that song just like blaring, like full volume. Like, this kid doesn't even have his AirPods in like he would in class. Like, at least in the classroom, like, he would have his AirPods in so you wouldn't have to hear that. And you would think if you're watching something like that loud in the bathroom, you're at least going to have, like, I don't know, the volume on your 30%, 20%? At most 40%. Dude had it cranked up to 110%. Like, dude was blaring it out of his iPad, the Skibidi Toilet Song. I bet if anyone walked into the bathroom, they'd be really confused. Anyways, though, so yeah, sure enough, the subscriber walks in, and for once, that's not what he's hearing. And he doesn't actually see Ben, the Skibidi Toilet kid, anywhere, which is really weird. And that's the strange part, because normally this kid is always just hanging out in the bathroom blasting his song. So anyways, the thing is, at the time, Brian Loki didn't hear any, like, he didn't really think that much about it. He just thought, okay, well, that's kind of weird, like, whatever, though. He, in retrospect, he thought a lot about it. He's like, oh, that should have been a sign. He opens up one of the stalls, and it's not locked, by the way. I just want to preface it. This stall is not locked, which implies that no one is inside, correct? Anyways, so the poor subscriber
unbeknownst to him, opens up the door, expecting nothing, because why would you expect something here? And he opens up the door, and he's greeted with Ben, the Skibidi Toilet Kid, in the toilet. Buddy is literally, like, sunk himself into the toilet. And immediately as he opens it up, Ben is like, Skibidi pop, pop, pop. He's like, dude actually thinks that he's the Skibidi Toilet guy in real life. Buddy actually believes that he's one of those toilet dudes. Like, I really don't know how else to say it. But here's the important thing. While he was doing it, the Skibidi Toilet Kid was repeatedly, like, spamming the flush button. And it was, like, water was, like, starting to overflow everywhere because he had, like, officially or, like, successfully jammed it or something. So he's spamming the flush button and water spraying everywhere. You just know that that's bad for the pipes, man. You just know that something bad is about to come of this. You could just feel it in your bones at this moment. Yeah, so sure enough, right, the subscriber Brian is looking at Ben and it's just kind of like, buddy, are you good, bro? Like, are we chilling? Like, is everything good here? And yeah, sure enough, the Ben is like, does not respond to him, by the way. No. Why on earth would Ben respond to him, guys? Don't be silly here. What did he do? Yeah, he just did the Skibidi Bop theme song even louder and started spamming the flush button even louder, dude. Like, somehow even more. So at this point, Brian's like, okay, like, I gotta get out of here. So Brian, like, really quickly takes a pee because he actually had to go, which, guys, I know for a fact that the majority of time you say, hey, like, teacher, can I go to the bathroom? Dude, you just want to play Clash of Clans on your phone or Clash Royale. Like, we all know what you actually want to do, but there's that 1% of time that you actually need to go to the bathroom. And unfortunately for Ben, it overlapped with the time that, unfortunately for Brian, it overlapped with the time that the Skibidi Toilet Kid was actually going insane. Yeah, so sure enough, Brian goes to the bathroom quickly, washes his hands, and then immediately, like, doesn't run out, but he, like, power walks out of the bathroom as he hears Skippy pop, pop, pop screaming behind him and, like, the sound of, like, flushing and all that kind of stuff. So he goes back to the classroom, and he kind of sits there. He's kind of fidgeting around because he's like, okay, do I tell the teacher or, like, who cares? Because here's the thing. At this point, like, Brian kind of knew that Ben was up to no good. But he also isn't, like, a narc, bro. Like, he's not trying to just, I don't know, like, rat him out for the sake of ratting him out. Yeah, if he actually thought Ben was about to damage the school with, like, severe water damage and destroy the piping system, spoiler alert, yeah, then Brian would have totally spoken up and said something. But honestly, it's not as, like, if I was in this situation or if you guys were in this situation, I would bet that, like, I don't know, you're walking in there and you see that, like, some kid is, like, splashing around in the toilet, screaming Skibidi Toilet Song. Like, dude, I'm just gonna leave. Like, I don't want to be associated, bro. Like, I don't care, destroy the school or not. Like, I honestly just don't want to be associated for any reason, right? Even if this does no damage or something, dude, I'm just not trying to be associated, you feel me? But anyways, though, so he's sitting there, and that's when they get, like, an announcement on the loudspeaker, like, attention everyone, there's been a disturbance, like, in the building, like, please get in single file lines and walk outside. So obviously, Brian's kind of tweaking a little bit, but he's like, okay, there's no connection, like, there's no reason for me to think that the two are related. Why would I think that? And so anyways, they all get a single file line, and the teacher's kind of just suspicious because this is not, like, a normal thing they do, and the teachers know when you do drills, so the teacher, whenever, like, the fire alarm goes off, dude, one thing I've learned is if you're in an airplane and you feel turbulence and you're kind of tweaking a little bit, you're a little scared, look at the airplane stewardess? The people on the airplane, right, that are helping you. If they're looking fine, if they're not worried, look, they've been on more flights than you, don't be worried. If they're freaking out, yeah. Same with teachers. Like, if there's a fire alarm, they probably know when there's supposed to be a drill. So if they're like, okay, whatever, who cares, you're fine. But if they're kind of freaking out a little bit, I'm not saying freak out, but just have that as a little piece of data as you move through the world. Yeah, so anyways, right, sure enough, the subscribers, like, he starts walking. They're walking single file down the line. And they pass by the bathroom, and you just see like gallons of water spraying out of the bathroom. Like you just see a massive flood, and like the fire alarm starts going off. It's like man, man, man. You see all these like staff members running around, and at this point, Brian's like, "Oh my god, it actually was the Skibidi Toilet Kid." If you made it this far into the video, the secret word of the day is toilet, so comment that down below. I just want to see how many people actually made it this far into the video, as you guys are the OGs. By the way, if you want to support the channel, like if you want to help me out a ton, the best way you could possibly do it is just by binge watching these videos. I don't care if you're on Spotify or YouTube or anything like that. Really, the thing you got to do is just sit down, just watch a bunch of my videos in a row. Just like maybe put them on while you're sleeping or playing a video game or homework, or you can actively watch them. But comment down below what you do while watching my videos. I'm really curious. And if you're on Spotify, make sure you follow and rate it 5 stars. Anyways, though, so they're all walking out. And when they walk outside, the subscriber sees the Skibidi Toilet Kid, like almost, not held at gunpoint, but is like surrounded by 15 teachers, and they're all yelling at him, and he's literally just, okay, this is a guess, because the subscriber wasn't actually there to hear it, but I would bet that this Skibidi Toilet Kid, the teachers are like, "Oh my god, why would you destroy the school? Why would you flood our precious school?" He probably just responds, "Skibidi bop. Skip. Like dude's probably responding in skibidis. Yeah, so sure enough, everyone was outside. There was like major fire departments and a lot of different like school departments coming in. And yeah, you probably didn't think that the Skibidi Toilet virus would be strong enough, would have hold of its poor victims with such a strong grip on their motor functions. But no, it does. And strong enough to actually demolish a school with the sheer strength of the Skibidi Toilet virus. Boo!
What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we get a story time of this kid who loves that like Skibidi Toilet meme type thing and ends up flooding his entire school because he tries to like crawl into the toilets and like become the Skibidi Toilet. I don't even know, man. It's like actual brain rot when I say that sentence, but the story is pretty funny. I know you will enjoy it, so leave a like on the video right now to claim your free nothing. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And with that being said, let's just jump right into it. So anyways, we're going to call a subscriber submitted this story Alex. So anyways, over the summer, there's this trend that blew up, which is this like, it's this like Gmod toilet type thing that has like gone over this like viral song. And it's like turned into this like crazy, like 50,000 part series or whatever. However, like I'm not going to go into if it's good or not, because I just don't have the time to watch that, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not going to become a, God, this sentence, Skibidi Toilet connoisseur, bro. That's, anyways, I don't know and I don't care. But anyways, the important thing is the subscriber Alex has this kid in his class who we are going to call Ben. And Ben has this unhealthy obsession with this like Skibidi Toilet thing. He literally every single day he comes in singing like the theme song like in class, and every single day without a doubt the teacher has to be like, "Ben, shut the fuck." I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Teacher would say that. Teacher wants to say that, dude. The teacher literally wants to say that so bad. But the teacher's like, "Ben, can you please turn it down a little bit? Can you please not be singing in class, Ben? Please, Ben. I just want to retire. I want to go home." Anyways, so yeah, this kid, is obsessed with like the Skibidi Toilet trend or whatever. And I don't care if you like it or not, but please just relax is all I'm trying to say. And the subscriber, one day, he's sitting in class and he really has to go to the bathroom. Like, really has to go. Just kidding. Whenever a kid in class says they have to go to the bathroom, it literally just means they want to go and play Clash Royale on their phone for 5 minutes. So this, same with me, let's be real. So yeah, anyways, Alex raises his hand to go to the quote-unquote bathroom. The teacher looks at him with the look of like, "Bro, I know you're not going to the bathroom. Like, don't think you're, like, you can go, but don't think you're pulling a fast one on me, dude. Like, we both know what's going on here." Yeah, so anyways, right, Alex is like, "Okay, word." He gets up and he walks over to the bathroom. So he walks into the boys' bathroom, And I don't know if you guys have the same experience, but the boys' bathroom is always a little bit of a war zone. Like, Alex would never seriously go to the bathroom unless he desperately needed to go in the boys' bathroom at his school. Like, if he could hold it, he would hold it. Even if it was uncomfortable, he would hold it. The only time he would actually legitimately go to the bathroom, and I mean taking, like, going pee is fine in the boys' bathroom at school. It's a little dangerous, but if you go number 2 in the boys' public bathroom at your school, you're basically you're asking for whatever's going to happen to you, dude. That's all I'm trying to say. Anyways, though, so he goes in, sits down in one of the stalls. That doesn't actually do anything. He whips out his phone and plays Clash Royale. But that's when he hears a splashing noise next to him. And he's just like, what? Like, dude, what? So anyways, he kind of like is not trying to get into it because, look, man, if someone's making a scene, if someone's doing something ridiculous in the stall next to me, the last thing I want to do is get involved. Like, literally the last thing I want to do is get involved in that nonsense. Like, if you want to be ridiculous, by all means, be ridiculous. But please, be ridiculous by yourself, my brother. Please, not with me. Not with me. No. I'm just trying to go to the bathroom, or more likely just go on my phone for like a couple minutes. Just, escape the classroom for a second. Whatever nonsense you're up to, it's all you, bro. It's all you. Anyways, so yeah, sure enough, Alex is like, okay, maybe I should try and maybe I should go back to the classroom, which is really sad because he was only in there for a couple minutes. He was only able to waste a few minutes of his classroom time playing Clash Royale. Very sad. Anyways, though, so he gets up and he's like, okay, let me go wash my hands. So he goes up to the sink, washes his hands, even though he didn't even do anything. I think it's really just so no one thinks he just got up and didn't wash his hands. And that's when he hears the Skibidi Bop theme song or whatever being played, not played. It's like the kid going like Skibidi Bop Bop. I'm not even gonna do it. I'm not even gonna give you guys an opportunity to clip that or something. I'm not even giving you the opportunity. So at this point, he recognizes the voice, and he realizes that it's Ben in the stall next to him. Yeah, so he's like a little bit curious, but also he just doesn't want to know what on earth is going on, because all he knows is he hears like the Skibidi Toilet theme song, whatever, being like sung by that kid, and then immense splashing noises. Like, bro, I'm not going in there. I don't care how much you pay me, dude. I am not setting foot in there. That's jokes, bro. That's not happening. There is no way that is transpiring. Nope. I'm good, bro. I'm literally so good right now. Anyways, so yeah, the subscriber is like, he's washing his hands and he's really just trying to get back to the classroom at this point. And that's when the stall bursts open. So the stall he was next to was the one where Ben was in doing whatever nonsense he was in. And he didn't really know. But at this point, the stall opens up. And you can very clearly see that Ben is like submerged in the freaking toilet, bro. Like, I actually, like, the subscriber has no idea how he got so deep in like the toilet. Okay, he didn't like go all the way down. He's not actually just a floating head in there. That's physically impossible. But he's got his like foot jammed in there, whatever. And the splashing noise is there's like water overflowing because he's like clogged it in such a weird way that it's like broken the toilet. And this Ben kid is just like singing the freaking Skibidi Bop whatever theme song. And so at this point, Alex is like, dude, what? So Alex is kind of on the verge of like, okay, do I say something or do I just leave? And what happens, like, if someone sees me leave from here? Like, is it my moral responsibility to, I don't know, do something here? Like, is it actually, like, my responsibility to come in and do something? Because, something needs to be done. This kid's obviously, like, insane or whatever. And he just, throughout this whole thought process, he just hears, like, this Skibidi Bop Bop, whatever, right? Like, I'm not even going to do it, right? I'm sure you've heard it a bajillion times. I'm good too, man. And he's like, Ben, what are you doing? And Ben's like, I'm Skibidi Toilet. And then he goes back to like splashing in there. And this whole time, like, so much water is pouring out. So Alex is like, dude, like, do you not see how much water is pouring out of there? Do you not think like something's wrong? Spoiler, something was wrong. Yeah, so Alex is like, okay, dude, like, I think I just need to go at this point. Because, like, okay, what is Alex going to do? Like, this kid is going to do whatever he's going to do either way. So Alex is like, hey, man, I just want to make it clear, I don't think you should be doing that. But I'm also going to go. Because Alex is like, all right, I got to put my 2 cents in so I feel good, but also, yeah, that's crazy if you think I'm going to be here when he destroys whatever, right? So at this point, Alex gets up, and he just hears a ton of splashing, a ton of whatever, and it just like the kid screaming, I'm Skibidi Toilet. So he's like, okay, I'm good. I'm just going to park my butt back in class. You know, when I was in class a second ago, the one thing I wanted was to be in the men's bathroom on my phone playing Clash Royale. But you know what? Given perspective in this new turn of events, there's nothing more than I want to be in Miss Johnson's math class right now. All I want to know is how to do geometry right now. So I'm actually going to get up and go back to my class. You know what? I think that's what I'm going to do. So anyways, he gets up, walks back to his class, he sits down, and he doesn't think much more of it. He's like, okay, whatever, like, it's fine. And that's when he hears Ms. Johnson, like, you know, she's talking, whatever, and her phone rings. And I think she had, like, normally her phone on silence, but I think she had, like, a few contacts where it actually go through. So, because you can kind of customize your silent mode, like, you can have priority contacts on, like, different do not disturbs or whatever. But she had, like, her kids or her husband and probably also some school officials. So she picks up the phone, and spoiler, it's a school official. And she's like, what? She's like, okay. And she's like, all right, class, we have a little bit of an interruption. I'm told that there is some severe flooding going on in the school and that we should make our way outside. So she's like, yeah, let's, it's not a fire drill, but let's act like it's fire drill. So everyone get up. Okay. Single file line. So at this point, everyone's kind of looking at each other like, what? What did she say? Huh? Yeah, so everyone's pretty confused, and the only person who is less confused, or the least confused person in that classroom, is Alex. Because he's like, oh no. Because look, Alex knew that, you know, probably this Skibidi Bob Ben kid or whatever was going to have, he was probably going to cause some, like, issues with the toilet. And he's like, okay, worst case scenario, he, like, I don't know, permanently messes up that toilet so bad that it has to have, like, professional help. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, they have to have someone come in and actually fix it or something. Real quick, if you made it this far into the video, comment toilet down below in the comment section. If you're listening on YouTube, obviously drop a like right now to claim your free now thing. Subscribe and notifications on. And by the way, if you're listening on Spotify, make sure you rated the podcast 5 stars and you followed it with notifications on. And also, there's probably a poll down below. Please answer it. And if you're listening on YouTube, I also post these on Spotify and vice versa. Anyways. So, yeah, he was probably like, okay, this kid, Ben, is definitely going to mess up the toilet by doing all that. But he was like, what? Flooding? So, anyways, walks in a single file line. The whole math class walks out there. And they're all kind of waiting out there. And so Ben was not in his class, but the thing is, for some reason, the subscriber actually knew which class Ben was in at this time. It wasn't like the biggest school ever, so he kind of knew where people were at. And like, even he's like, it's kind of random that he knew, but he did know. So he looked over at the line, I think it was like Ms. Johnson's English class, let's say, and Ben was not there. So eventually, like, a fire truck comes, and because that's like your first responder, I guess, whatever, to come in to see what's up. And then eventually, like, they're told, okay, like, kids, like, this is really weird, but we're calling your parents. We're going to host recess outside until they come. You guys can technically stay here till the end of the day, but we're also letting your parents know that if they can come pick you up early, that would be ideal. So anyways, right, the subscriber, Alex's mom, comes and picks him up, and she's not happy. She's like, oh my God, like, what did you do? And Alex is like, dude, no, for real, I didn't do anything, I swear. So anyways, it comes out a couple days later that basically the story, what happened, was that, like, freaking the Skibidi kid was in there being like, I'm Skibidi Toilet, bah! And just destroyed the toilet, and was in there, like, bouncing around, singing his song so much that he broke the bowl of the toilet, causing, like, the bottom, like, the whole thing to shatter. It, like, starts spraying water everywhere, and he's like, uh-oh. And as he runs out, like, this, like, some employee or something, or some teacher catches him running out, and he's like, what's going on? And that's when, like, the kid's like, and then, the teacher opens the door, sees that, like, crazy explosion, flooding thing, whatever. He's like, oh my God. So anyways, he pulls the kid aside, and he also calls up saying, like, there's a flood thing, whatever. Another teacher comes down. They're like, oh, wow, because it's actually spreading pretty fast. And, yeah, so the school actually sustained a ton of water damage. There was a ton of internal piping issues because the damage went pretty deep. Yeah, so Yeah, the kid got, in trouble. I think, I don't know. I think they kind of realized that he had no idea what he was doing. But, he also destroyed like a lot of the school. So he got suspended for a couple days, and he had to learn. He actually had like, he had to do, like the plumber came in, and he was like paid to come in like for one more day to like explain how plumbing works to this kid or something as part of his punishment. I don't know. I think the principal just had to get creative, because he's like, okay, this kid obviously didn't know what he was doing, but I can't just let him off the hook, and like just suspending him for a couple days kind of doesn't feel like enough for some reason. So yeah, eventually they have Zoom class for a couple days, or Google Meets, or I don't even know, whatever he used, right? Then they came back, and when the subscriber Alex came back to the school, like it's funny, like they had like a temporary like boys bathroom, whatever. They opened up like the what is it, the faculty bathroom for the boys bathroom. The faculty were not happy about that. Eventually the boys bathroom came back, but there was like a ton of boarding up for a really, really long time. And moral of the story is don't become Skibidi Toilet in your bathroom. What? Dude, I don't know. I just don't do what this kid did, and you should be pretty okay. Yeah, leave a like, bye. What's up, guys? I think I'm getting sick, man. I think I'm getting sick from the amount of cringe that I've received from reading the story that I got from you guys. Basically, in today's story time, there's a kid who is refusing to shower and starts to smell really bad, and his rationale is he was talking to his toilet, and he believes that his toilet is actually the Skibidi toilet thing, and that it's telling him not to shower. Now, guys, I don't know. Don't ask. I'm just going to tell you the story that I received. Yes, do I have any faith in humanity? No. But will I tell you the story either way? Yes, I will. So leave a like on this video right now to claim your free nothing. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and enjoy stories. And with that being said, dude, let's just jump right into it. Anyways, so we're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Tommy. Anyways, I just said anyways 15 times, my bad. So this happened this year. Obviously, it happened this year because, the whole Skibidi toilet trend or whatever only really happened this summer. I made a video yesterday, I think, about another Skibidi toilet kit. What am I saying? Another Skibidi toilet kit or whatever. And there's a lot of mixed reactions in the comments of like, oh, is it cringe? Is it not cringe? Personally, I don't really care if you like it or not. I only care if you choose to stop showering because you believe that Skibidi Toilet has possessed your toilet and is telling you not to shower. That's where I draw the line. So this all happened one day, pretty recently actually, when the subscriber Tommy got back to school. There's a kid who we're going to call Ben. And Ben is one of these kids who's just been like infested by this like Skibidi Toilet trend or whatever. Personally, I don't care. I'm not going to watch it, guys. If you like it, I'm sorry, I'm just not going to watch it. That's okay. We can agree to disagree, right? However, there has been kind of a lot of these things happening where these kids will just become obsessed. They will just be humming the theme song. They will just every 5 seconds like, Skibidi Toilet, blah. And it's like, I don't know, dude. I think this is actually going to be the next zombie apocalypse. Like, I think that's how we're actually going out. But anyways, right, whether that is true or not, it doesn't really matter, because all that really matters now is that Ben, this kid in the subscriber Tommy's class, is one of these Skibidi Toilet kids, right? So immediately on the first day of school, like, Tommy already knew that this was going to be a long year when the kid came in singing like this Skibidi bop bop bop, yes, like that. It could not stop doing that. Like, he actually had like a brain worm or something. He could not stop singing that song. And like the teacher many times in class yelled at him. And it got so bad that the teacher actually kicked him out of the classroom. So he couldn't stop humming Sorry, guys. I just spilled some drink all over my floor. I guess this is a lesson for why not to multitask, because I just spilled a drink all over my floor, just dumped it all on the floor. I don't know why. Anyways, just clean that all up. Yeah, so the kid got kicked out of class because he couldn't stop humming this Skibidi Bop whatever theme song. And so this kid is like a level 10 brain rot infection patient of the Skibidi Toilet disease, right? So anyways, one day, this is like a couple weeks into school, Tommy is really not trying to be in the presence of Ben, because if he is, he's just going to hear Skibidi Bop Bop, and he's like, he's actually going to like hit the kid in the face or something. But unfortunately on this day, It's like random group assignment. So the teacher's like, all right, guys, so we're going to have a random group assignment today. I don't know, in-class project. I'm going to put you guys in groups. So I put you guys into like a random name generator thing, and these are the groups that got spit out. And ran through all the lists, and unfortunately, it was in pairs, because they were actually mostly in groups of 3, but they were down one person. So the one group of 2 was Tommy and Ben. And Tommy's like, dude, statistically, like that's so unlikely. Like, no way. There's like 20 people in my class. Oh my God. So anyways, Tommy looks up and he sees the Skibidi Bob Ben kid get up and start walking towards him. And, Tommy's like, okay, whatever. I'm not immediately hearing the theme song, so that's good, I think. Like, I'm not immediately being just, like, bombarded by the Skibidi Bob Toilet whatever theme song, which is amazing, I guess. But anyways, right, so the kid comes in and sits down next to him, and Tommy's like, oh my God. Okay, he doesn't say that, but he's very close to saying that, because that is exactly what he's thinking. Because this kid literally smells like he just took a ice bath, but instead of an ice bath, replace all the water and ice with like rotten milk and sewage. Like that's actually how this kid smells. He smells so absolutely terrible. So Tommy is like doing his best at this very moment to not gag, to not projectile just like vomit all over the place. It is so absolutely terrible. And then, of course, Ben is like, Skibidi Bop Bop Bop, yes. And Tommy's like, oh my God, no. No, not only is he singing this theme song that I actually can't hear another second of without just getting a lobotomy myself to, just cure myself of this like pain or whatever, but also this kid smells so bad. I've never smelled a kid who smells this bad. Oh my God. Yeah, like it's actually kind of ridiculous, but so Tommy's just like, okay, how are we going to go about this? He's like, hey, man, and so Tommy just straight up is like, hey, man, like, I'm just doing this because I'm your friend, lie, but, bros got to look out for bros, you're not my bro, but, dude, I really think that, I think you forgot to apply the deodorant today, which I know is kind of like, you might sound like a really rude thing to say. You got to understand, this kid is, like, unbearable. Like, he's actually unbearable. So Tommy, in his own mind, is like, okay, I think I'm doing this kid a disservice if I don't make some reference to how bad he smells. Like, he actually is going to go out into the world, the universe, and just, other people are going to judge him and not say anything. And he's just going to get, farther and farther behind in life until, he's just out on the streets, man. He's literally going to be on the streets because if I don't tell him that he smells bad. And, the Skibidi Bop Toilet Ben kid is like, well, actually, I have not been showering for the last 3 weeks because, Skibidi told me so. And Tommy is trying not to have an aneurysm by what he just heard. He's trying not to, have the frontal lobe of his brain just collapse in on itself. He's like, sorry, I think I heard you wrong. Tommy is refusing to believe that he actually heard this kid correctly, and this kid just said to him that he's not been taking showers because, quote-unquote, Skibidi Toilet told him not to. Oh my God, dude, this generation is actually screwed. We're actually so screwed, dude. Like, these are the next doctors, NASA scientists, physicists. Like, I think we're actually going to I think we're going to undiscover gravity, bro. If this is the next level of, like, physicists, bro, I think we're going to undiscover gravity and go back to the caveman times, dude. Anyways, I like how I was about to say we invented gravity. Man, why did Isaac Newton invent gravity? Man, I just want to float around the place. Oh, what a buzzkill. Anyways, this could be, Ben is like, no, like, you got to understand, like, Skippy's in my bathroom, and I talk to him every night. And Tommy's like, oh my God, no. It's worse than I thought. It's worse than I thought, man. I didn't think it could be worse than I thought, but it's worse. Yeah, so, Tommy's like, okay. I don't know what to do with that information. But you're saying that you go into your bathroom at night and you sit down and you speak with your toilet, and Ben's like, Skibidi, please use the proper first name. Don't just call him Toilet. Idiot. Tommy's like, what? Okay. He's like, okay, man, well, we got an assignment to do. So maybe we should. And then you hear him, like, literally, Ben just goes into a phase. He's like, Skibidi bop, 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 yes, yes, Skibidi bop, beep, beep. Like, he just goes in, like, he just disconnects from reality, just goes into that, like, it's like some sleeper agent, like, he just got some, like, sign or something. He's turned into a robot that just spits out that song. So at this point, Tommy's like, okay, well, actually, since this kid has probably received a lobotomy since the last time I talked to him, it's probably best that I do this project by myself. And now that I actually think about this again, it's probably best that I do this by myself. Comment toilet down below if you made this far into the video. Leave a like on the video if you're on YouTube. Subscribe, obviously, and if you're on Spotify, rate the podcast 5 stars, follow the podcast, and answer the poll question. There's probably going to be a poll question. If you're on YouTube, I'm on Spotify, and vice versa. Anyways, so yeah. Tommy's going through and like answering all the questions. Tommy's actually a pretty good student, and he's just pretty good at what he's doing in this class. It's also like 5th grade or 4th grade or something, so it's not that deep. But he finishes up pretty early, and he's like, "All right, man, I'm going to like go to the bathroom. This thing is done, by the way, so the teacher comes to collect it. You can hand this in." And Ben responds, Skibidi bop. Yeah, so Tommy's like, okay, why did I even try talking to you? That was my bad. So, Tommy goes to the bathroom, and then he comes back, and just like a moment of peace from the Skibidi Bop kid or whatever. And he comes back, and so the teacher is walking up to their table, because the teacher is obviously going around collecting everything. So Tommy goes to sit back down, and that's when he sees the teacher, like, stop, like, literally freezes in place. I think the wall of Skibidi Bop Toilet Kid stink hit him. And the teacher's like, oh! Teacher actually takes a double take on life, bro. Dude is actually questioning everything at this point. He's like, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that from you. Oh. So anyways, class is basically over, and the teacher is like, hey, Ben, can I talk to you after class real quick? So at this point, okay, Tommy probably shouldn't be listening to private conversations, but Tommy's listening to private conversations. What can I do about it, right? What can I actually do about it? We get a better story now. So Tommy finds a way to kind of like hide out and overhear the conversation, and Ben stays after class after everyone leaves. The teacher's like, hey, Ben, I just noticed that, and the teacher's trying to put this very nicely, you're not yet, Ben, have you been keeping up with, your showers at home? Is there anything I need to know about? Which, as a teacher, you should actually kind of take this kind of seriously. You shouldn't just, like, slam dunk on the kid, because normally if something like this is happening, like, not normally, but a handful of times you do have to realize that there could be some stuff happening back at home, and you obviously don't know the whole picture. And the teacher clearly did not know the whole picture, because the teacher would have known that obviously Skibidi Toilet spawned into his bathroom, told him not to take a shower. Obviously. So, yeah, Tommy listens as Ben is like, Skibidi Toilet told me not to shower. He's in my bathroom. And the teacher's like, yeah, because, bro, if I'm a teacher in this situation, what do I do? Like, genuinely, what do I say? Like, how do I respond to that? Like, I just genuinely don't know how I would respond to a kid saying that to me. Yelling at me, saying, Skibidi Toilet, like, what's a Skibidi Toilet, dude, what? Anyway, so the teacher's like, oh, okay, but, you should really be keeping up with your showers. If you need me to, buy you deodorant, I can do that, so I think I can get a stipend from the school if you need, like, a lot of deodorant. The teacher's being so funny. Yeah, so, okay. So Ben bursts out of the classroom singing, Skibidi bop, 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 skip, and he just kind of, like, runs down. And at this point, like, Tommy kind of has to take a quick, like, left turn because he can't be caught overhearing. And he hears as the teacher steps out of the classroom and literally just kind of is like, man, like, should I even be a teacher? This kid literally brought the teacher to questioning her own profession, which honestly, man, if I was in this position, I think I would too. What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we got a story time of a Skibidi Toilet kid who ends up fighting his dad over the most nonsense thing you've ever heard. Like, I know I've told a lot of stories where you'll probably cringe at how, like, ridiculous they are, but this one is definitely up there. So that being said, leave a like on the video right now to claim your free nothing. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and like stories. And with that being said, let's just jump right into it. Anyways, right, so we're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Carson. Anyways, so Carson had this friend who we're going to call Ben. And by the way, to all the people new to the channel, just so you know, it's not the same Ben in every single story. It's just really my placeholder name I use for the second character a lot of the times. Anyways, though, so Carson had this friend named Ben, and we've heard this story happen again and again when basically Ben is a totally normal kid before they go off for the summer, and then when they come back this year, it's completely like Ben is completely changed. He's completely crazy. And what exactly happened? Well, as a lot of other kids have, a lot of other kids have caught this disease over the summer. And it's the Skibidi Toilet virus. It's probably the most dangerous disease on planet Earth. It has a 100% mortality rate, not because they die, but because anyone around them will 100% die from the cringe, you know what I mean? Anyways, though, so yeah, sure enough, I don't know if you guys know any kids who've come down with the Skibidi toilet disease. Make sure to leave a comment down below saying if they have, and just tell me your little story in there as well so you guys can read the comments while listening as well. Also, I just want to really quickly say, if you enjoy, the Skibidi toilet videos or whatever, I don't really care. I'm not talking about you. You're allowed to like what you like. That's totally fine. But if you've seen a few of my videos of Skibidi toilet kids in like quotation marks, you already know what it means to be one. Yeah, taking it to the nth degree of insanity. So please don't become one of those kids. Anyways, though, so Ben was a totally normal kid. As these stories go, Carson's telling me that, like, yeah, these kids are totally normal. And by the way, if you want to submit stories to me or if you want to get your story submitted, go to Instagram, look up connorpugs, drop me a follow, and then message me your story. Yeah, so Carson was telling me that Ben was actually quite a normal kid before this. Like, Ben was very much like, he was chill, he liked to go outdoors. Everything was kind of good, man. Like, life was pretty good, nothing too strange, nothing that would honestly, like, he was just a normal kid. It wasn't like, oh, he was a little strange before, so it totally makes sense that he became obsessed with this thing and went off the rails. Like, dude was just like one of the boys. Anyways, though, so over the summer, I guess he just didn't have a lot planned. He didn't get a lot. I don't know. Definitely a lot of kids will have more chill summers, which is totally fine. Like, I think there's nothing that beats a summertime day where you're kind of like, I don't know, you're on playing like Minecraft or Xbox or whatever with the boys. Maybe you have like a nice lunch at home and spend a little time outside. Like a chill summer, those definitely go super hard. I'm not going to lie. But unfortunately, Ben had a chill summer in the sense that he didn't have anything planned, meaning that the Skibidi Toilet virus was primed to strike. It was the perfect climate. It was the perfect conditions for the Skibidi toilet to wreck. It's like, it's bad. It was bad news because Ben literally, okay, Carson doesn't know this, but he assumes that Ben spent 5 hours a day, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, 25 hours out of the 24 hours a day just watching Skibidi Toilet episodes, watching Skibidi Toilet lore videos, watching everything that has to do with these freaking toilets, dude. I swear it's everywhere. It's like literally everywhere on YouTube. And obviously Carson doesn't know this. It's not like Carson has some kind of security camera inside Ben's house all over the summer. But by the way that Ben was acting as soon as he got back to school, it almost felt like that. So from day one of school, like Carson didn't really see Ben over the summer at all. I think he saw him in the beginning for a second, and then Carson went on a vacation, went on a trip after that fact. But when he came back, really the first time he saw him since summer was in school. And, like, Carson goes up to Ben. He's like, oh, what's up, dude? Like, how's it going? And Ben is just like, good. Skippy bop bop, skip skip. He's just, like, spamming out weird keywords of, like, Skibidi toilet, all this. He's just, like, mumbling stuff to himself. And Carson's like, what? Yeah, so anyways, Carson's pretty confused by all this. But anyways, he's just like, okay, man. Like, he just tries to, like, he kind of brushes it off in the beginning, but just the more time he spends with them. First of all, Ben never brought an iPad to school. He never brought a phone to school, didn't bring a laptop, didn't bring his Samsung Smart Fridge. He didn't bring any kind of electronic to school. However, ever since the Skibidi Toilet virus got him over the summer, he brings in his iPad. Instead of chilling with the boys at recess or hanging out with them at lunch or in between periods, even in between class periods, he just goes on his iPad to get another hit of the Skibidi Toilet videos. Dude is actually acting like this is some kind of like crazy drug or something, bro. Like, I mean, low-key it is by the way the kids are consuming Skibidi Toilet videos. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, this kid would literally watch some kind of like Skibidi Toilet episode every single day of every single minute. So at one point, Carson and his friends actually kind of have a little bit of a group meeting, like to talk about it. Just because the behavior is so bad. Dude, if your friends are having a group meeting about your behavior, then man, you're doing something wrong. I mean, maybe they're all delusional and you're not, but I'm not gonna lie, man. If you think that everyone around you is delusional and you're somehow like in the right on everything, maybe you're right, but let's be honest, man, you're probably not correct here. Anyways, though, so Carson and his friends kind of have a meeting, and they're just like, dude, have you noticed, like, it actually was Carson who's the one who's like, yo, can we talk about Ben? But it seems like everyone immediately knew what he was talking about. It's not like Carson had to, like, explain to them exactly what they, like, why they were having that meeting. It was abundantly clear to everyone exactly why they were having that meeting, man. Like, no one needed an explanation for why the meeting was taking place. That's honestly how bad it was. Like, every single person immediately knew what they were talking about. They already knew the conversation before it came up. So everyone kind of just spoke about their own experiences about how bad it was and how, like, basically Ben had completely changed into a different person. He wasn't hanging out with them. Well, I mean, he was, but when he was on his iPad or whatever. Or whenever they tried to have a conversation, like Ben would immediately try and turn it into Skibidi Toilet lore, which everyone's like, dude, what? Like, dude, what? That makes no sense at all. Like, yeah, I get it. If there's something you're really passionate about, a lot of times you'll want to like talk to your friends about it. But at a certain point, I feel like you got to realize that, explaining to your friends Skibidi Toilet lore, let me just repeat that, Skibidi Toilet lore to them when they don't care every single day, every single hour. I don't know, man. I feel like at some point you'd realize that perhaps that's not the way to go about it. So anyways, Carson's like, look, boys, it's been a second since we've had a group sleepover. Let's ask Ben if he wants to have a sleepover. So anyways, later that day, Carson goes up. He's like, yo, Ben, like, what's up? And Ben's like, what's up, dude? He's like, hey, man, like, it's been a second since the boys and I have had, like, a sleepover. Like, do you want to run something back? And, you know, Ben's like, yeah, actually, do you guys want to come over this Friday? And Carson's like, yeah, sure. Like, I'll check with the boys. We were talking about this earlier. I think we can all go, though. But, yeah, let's coordinate something. So, yeah, anyways, all the parents got in contact again, and, you know, sure enough, everyone got the A-OK to come over on Friday night to Ben's house. So let's skip forward in the week to that Friday. So this is a couple weeks into school, and so we're skipping forward to that Friday, yes. So sure enough, Carson's kind of explained what's been going on to his mom, but as, like, to me, the whole concept of this, like, these Skibidi Toilet kids is kind of foreign to me, and, man, I've been on the internet for a second. Imagine trying to explain to your parents that your friend is not that close to you because he's obsessed with Skibidi Toilet lore. Like, imagine, like, I think if I was a parent, I'd be like, oh, man, it looks like my time has come. I've definitely just had a brain aneurysm because that was not English. And if that was English, man, then, you know, I got to take a few English classes because I got to catch up. I've been slipping behind. Like, I gotta like sit in on my kids' English classes, take some notes, right? Maybe do their homework for them so that I can learn whatever's going on. Because all I know is whatever he just said made absolutely no sense to him. So I feel bad for, like, Carson's mom. But Carson's mom's like, hey, sweetie, like, kids like your age, like, they just go through phases. And this just sounds like a phase to me. You know, this kind of sounds like something like your friend's excited about it and he's just getting really obsessed, and I bet he'll be back to normal in no time. Like, when I was a kid, I had like a whatever phase. She inserted something that was popular in the 80s or whatever, or 90s, whatever, right? And he's like, and she's like, oh, it's a phase, they'll go through it and then you guys will be friends again. Just try and keep the connection now. I know it might be hard, but really just do your best, like, because he'll be normal again soon. So anyways, Carson's eventually dropped off at Ben's house, and, he gets out of the car, and he goes into the house. And everything seems pretty normal. Actually, at first, everything is really normal. Like, it almost feels like old Ben is back again. And so, because they're all kind of like hanging out in the backyard, Ben had a pretty cool backyard. He had like a swing set, he had a slide. There was like a lot of bushes. It kind of opened up. It wasn't a closed backyard. It was like attached because he was on the edge of a forest. So it kind of opened up into a big forest woods area, whatever. Like it was a sweet backyard. And they'd always start all their sleepovers kind of like hanging out in the backyard. It was kind of cool because it was like they would always start it the same way, but the adventures would always be different every single night. But no matter what, they'd always start it in the same way. Yeah, so anyways, it still started off as a pretty good night. It started off as a pretty good time to the sleepover. And honestly, at this point, Carson and his friends thought that it would just continue on like a normal sleepover would. Little did they know that that was honestly not going to be the case. I mean, I think part of them kind of had a sneaking suspicion that this was too good to be true, especially since Ben had been infected by the Skibidi Toilet virus by this time. But anyways, so they go back inside. And normally when they would go back inside, they would either all hop on a game or plan to go do something before dinner. And then normally post-dinner, they'd have a movie or something. And so they went down to Ben's. Ben had like a basement that kind of was turned out to like a hangout room, which was pretty cool, man. I mean, like they would go down there. There was like a Wii. There was like a couch. There was a little snack drawer. Like it was pretty sweet. So they go down there, and Ben is like, boys, I have something like queued up. And they're like, oh, okay, like what is it? And he turns on the TV. And the TV has YouTube on it, and they see that it's already saved / open to a screen. And on this screen is a playlist that has 2,000 videos in it. 2,000 videos. A playlist with 2,000 videos. It's like 26 hours long, and it's called Skibidi Marathon. It basically has every Skibidi Toilet video that has ever existed. I'm not talking about like the episodes of the official series from the Boom channel or whatever. I'm talking about those plus every other video. Skibidi Toilet in real life, lore analysis videos, everything, man. I mean, I don't know how you get to 2,000 videos. Like, I barely have 2,000 videos on my channel. I crank these things out every single frickin' day, dude. 2,000 videos. And here's the thing, too. He didn't even know that they were having a sleepover till a couple days before. So this isn't like, I mean, maybe this is his own personal playlist. But when they sat down, like, at this point, Carson and his friends, like, their mouths just dropped. They're just like, no. And Ben's like, all right, boys, like I thought we'd indulge in a little bit of this. And he starts the playlist. And everyone is just looking at each other. They're all giving each other like the hardest side eye you've ever heard. They're all just kind of like looking at each other, looking back and forth like, ain't no way, bro, serious right now. There's a 0% chance dude actually thinks we're going to do this. But he did. Ben was certain that this is what they were going to do. Ben was certain that this is the definition of a good time for everyone. Spoiler, it's not. No one was having a good time. No one enjoyed this. No one liked this. Anyways, though, so about an hour and a half in, everyone's on their phone, by the way. Here's the thing, man. If you're ever playing videos for the boys, or you're choosing something, and you can kind of tell that maybe they haven't been like, yo, turn that off, but after a second, not a single one is paying attention. Like, they're all on their phones right now. Maybe, especially if you're the one who chose it, maybe it's time to choose something else. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But maybe it's time for you to go and to change up a little bit. But I think Ben was just so sucked in by the Skibidi Toilet, whatever, that he just couldn't comprehend, man. He just couldn't comprehend them not being in love with Skibidi Toilet, man. He just couldn't see it on the event horizon, man. He just couldn't see it. Anyways, though, so about an hour and a half in, you hear a call from upstairs of Ben's dad being like, Ben, it's time for dinner. And Ben's like, 1 second. He's like, guys, what are your thoughts on just like watching more of this? And the boys are like, I don't know, man. We're kind of hungry or whatever. And he's like, yo, one more. And he cues up a video. It's like a 27-minute long lore video. And everyone's like, dude, no. Dude, no. Yes, anyways, they're about a couple minutes in. And Ben's dad is like kind of like comes down the stairs. He's like, hey boys, like it's time for dinner. Do you want to get cold, right? Like Ben's mom worked hard on this. So at this point, like Carson's like, oh, that's enough for me. And he gets up and a lot of the other guys get up and stand up. And they're starting to walk up the stairs. Ben, though, is not moving. And Ben's dad's like, yo, Ben, like, come on, man, like, let's go. Ben's like, I'm almost done with my video. And Ben's dad looks at it. He's like, dude, you're 4 minutes into a 27-minute long video. Like, can you just pause it? Like, you can start it when you come back downstairs. He's like, Dad, no, this is important. His dad's like, no, like, son, you need to come up right now. I don't know if you've ever been at a sleepover or some like at a friend's house when like they get in an argument with their parents, but bro, it's always so uncomfortable. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm always just so uncomfortable by those things, man. It just kind of makes me feel like, I don't know if that, I hope I encapsulated that feeling well, but it's the feeling of, Yeah, but one thing led to another, and it for some reason started to get heated. I mean, don't ask me how they got in a heated conversation over Ben watching or not watching a 27-minute long Skibidi Toilet lore video, dude. I don't know. I really don't know. But it starts to get really heated, and Ben like escalates things. Like, I don't know if the Skibidi Toilet virus gave Ben like bad anger issues or something. Maybe just all like the brain rot he's been consuming has like messed with the wires in his brain, man. But he stands up, he's just like yelling at his dad. He's like screaming at his dad, let me watch Skibidi Toilet. Like, I don't know, dude actually seems like the guy who gets possessed in those devil movies, bro. Like, I don't know what to say, man. So yeah, sure enough, Ben's dad is not happy about this. He's just like, you're going up right now and joining your friends because your mother. And at this point, Ben, like, takes the TV remote in his hand and, like, socks his dad in the face and runs upstairs screaming, you're not my real dad. Skibidi is. And he, like, runs up to his room and slams the door. That wasn't, like, an audio glitch. I just went silent to give you guys a second to internalize that statement. He threw hands at his dad because his dad wouldn't let him watch, or did not let him watch, just asked him to take a break from his lore video. He gets so mad, he socks him in the face and then runs up screaming, Skibidi is my real dad. So at this point, everyone, like at this point, Carson's just like, oh. And everyone's just frozen on the stairs. No one wants to move. The only time they moved was to get out of the way as, Ben was running up in tears up to his room or whatever. So they're all kind of standing there super awkwardly. Real quick, if you made it this far into the video, comment Skibidi down below in the comment section. That'll be the secret word of the day. Obviously, leave a like on the video if you haven't already and turn on notifications. And if you're listening on Spotify, make sure you follow the podcast and that you rated it 5 stars. Yeah. So anyways, they're all just super awkwardly standing there. Like, this is the most uncomfortable moment that a lot of them have been in a really, really long time. Like, they can't remember when things have been this weird for a while. Yeah, so they're all just like in shock, standing there. It's just bad news, man. Like, it's just really uncomfortable. So anyways, they walk upstairs and like, so Ben's dad is like talking to Ben's mom, and Ben's mom's like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that, blah, blah, all that kind of stuff. And so Ben's parents kind of like eventually after talking to each other, everyone's kind of standing awkwardly in the living room at this point. So Ben's mom's like, hey guys, like there's food on the table. Is there any, and she basically tells them, it's very awkward, but she basically tells them that Ben isn't going to be allowed to, they need to have a pretty stern talk with Ben, that obviously he's been going through some stuff, in quotes, like the Skibidi toilet virus. Obviously she didn't say that, but that his obsession needs to be dealt with, and that it probably wouldn't be best that they still had a sleepover tonight. So some of them live in the neighborhood, so they could walk back. Some of them could be picked up by their parents, and those whose parents like already made plans. Like, there were some like impromptu sleepovers. Like, I think Carson brought one of his friends home, and they had a little like an impromptu sleepover because Carson's friends like mom was out of town or planned around the sleepover to do something. So yeah, they went back home, and let me just say that the next day, Ben came into school. He was just dead silent. Nothing, didn't bring his iPad. Probably got his iPad taken away from him. Like, let's be real. And that's the end of the story. That's all I got from Carson. I have no updates. I have no updates if Ben is better now or what has happened since, because this is probably a pretty recent story. So Carson, if you're listening to this, man, give me an update just so the people can know how he is. And submit your own stories to my Instagram at connorpugs, and watch another video right now to support the channel. And peace. What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. And I honestly don't know if I'll have the stamina, like the mental stamina, like just the ability to finish this video or to even tell you this story, because I think my cringe levels they've reached a level at which I don't think I'm ever making it back. So today's story, a kid in the subscribers class decides... a kid in the subscribers class decides that he is going to woo his crush with his... Skibidi Riz. Hey guys, this is Connor's brother, also named Connor. Sorry, the other Connor died. It was just way too much for him, but I'll be taking over. So leave a like on the video right now to claim your free nothing. This is no joke, no scam. Miss you, Scrubby, bro. We miss you. Anyways, with that being said, subscribe if you're new, and let's just jump right into it. So we're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Chip. So anyways, there's been an epidemic recently. I didn't realize how bad this was until I posted one story that I received about one of these Skibidi Toilet kids. And then I received like 10,000 billion million stories about Skibidi Toilet kids destroying the universe, basically. If you have a story, you can go to Instagram, look up connorpugs, and then follow me and then message me your story. That's how I mainly received them. Yeah, so anyways... This all started one day, early September. We're going to call the subscriber Chip, as I said earlier. And there's a kid in Chip's class who we're going to call Ben. I've been using, if you guys are new to the channel, I use Ben as kind of like the secondary character name, like 95% of the time. I use it so often that it's almost like a joke on the channel at this point. Anyways, though, so we're going to call the Skibidi Toilet kid Ben. So if you don't know, Skibidi Toilet is like some kind of like Gmod meme show, whatever. I don't know. It's like very, very popular. It's also very popular with younger kids. I kind of don't care if you like it or not. Like, it really doesn't affect me either way. One thing I will say, though, is please do not be like any of these Skibidi. Do not become a Skibidi Toilet kid, bro. Like, for the love of God, please. Anyways, though, so this kid, Ben, he was infected. He was infected by the Skibidi Toilet virus, or whatever you want to call it. Because, like, on the first day of class, he came in, like, almost like the other kid, almost exactly like the other kid. And he was like, Skibidi, bop, 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 yes, yes, Skibidi. And he just, like, could not stop singing that stuff, bro. And it was so bad. And anyways, so this all happened. We're just going to jump to the story right now. This all started off on what seemed like a normal day. On what seemed like a very normal day. Late September, you know, it's getting a little chilly where Chip lives. It's, leaves are starting to turn. Like, it's autumn, man. It's starting to become autumn. And on this late September autumn day, Chip gets into class real early. And the only class he has with the Skibidi Toilet kid is his first period class. Yeah, so first period class, he sits down. He's chilling. He's having a pretty good time. Nothing too big. And that's when the Ben comes over to him. And he, like, walks over, and Chip can literally hear Ben humming like... So he's like, oh my God, okay. And Ben's like, sits down. He's like, yo, Chip. And Chip's like, what? Bro is already done. Bro's already had enough. It's been 1 millisecond of being with Ben, and he's already officially had enough of his nonsense. Like, it's literally been 1 trillionth of a second, and 1 trillionth of a second is a little bit too much, man. It's honestly just been a little bit too much for him. So yeah, 1 trillionth of a second is just way too much. Anyways, so he's like, yeah, what? And he's like, yo, like, so there's this girl. He's like, yes. Her name is Caroline. And Chip's like, yeah, no, she sits in our class. I know who that is. And Ben's like, you know who that is? Like, dude, are you trying to hit on her? And Chip's like, bro, I literally just said I know who she is. Yeah, so the Skibidi Toilet kid, Ben, just says, do you know who this girl is? Do you know do you know that she exists? Which, I mean, this girl's literally in their class, so Chip would have to be blind. It was like a class like 25 people. Like, oh no, I don't even exist, man. Sure. And the second that Chip says, yeah, I know who she is, the Ben immediately gets jealous and is like, are you trying to get with it? Like, bro, relax, calm down. Like, I genuinely need you to relax for a second. Oh my God. Anyways, so he's like, yeah, dude, like, relax. No, I'm not trying to hit on her. Why? And Ben's like, so I want to make a bet with you. And, Chip's like, okay, I'm all ears, I guess. He's like, I bet by the end of class, she will be my girlfriend. And Chip in his head is like, that's not happening. Like, I'm trying to be nice about this, but just simply, that's just not happening. You know what I mean? Like, that is just actually not going to happen. Like, there's not a single way that that's going to happen. So Chip's like, yeah, okay, so what are we betting, right? And, the Skibidi kid is like, I will do your homework for a week if I can't actually become, like, if she isn't my girlfriend by the end of class. And if she is, well, then you owe me nothing. So, well, first of all, let me just say that Chip, as much as he doesn't like to do his homework, he's probably still going to do it, even if he wins the bet, which he most likely is. In fact, he most definitely is by the situation. Just because he doesn't trust Ben to actually do it correctly. However, Chip is always down for entertainment. Chip is always down to be entertained. You know what I mean? Like, let life be interesting, right? So Chip says, sure, I'll take you up on that bet. Chip did not understand that it was low-key his fault for the cringe that was about to ensue. It was low-key Chip's fault for what was about to go down. And what was about to go down was, let's just say, not the greatest thing ever. It was not the most ideal situation on planet Earth. It was not the greatest thing to ever transpire, if you know what I mean. Like, it was simply just not the most ideal thing ever, as you guys will see. So anyways, the kid, Ben, leans over and says, probably the most cringe sentence ever. Actually, no, I take that back. But it's definitely up there. He's like, wait until you see me put the Skibidi Riz on her. And Chip is like, oh man. I think that just ripped my soul out of my body. No. Like, you need to, like, if you say something like that, you need to prepare me like I'm about to say the most cringe sentence on planet Earth. You guys, you need to strap in, you need to buckle down, you need to get, like, tied down so you don't get blown away by how just astronomically cringe that was. Yeah, like, bro, okay, relax. Yeah, so, Chip, like, his mouth's all puckered up or whatever. It's like he just bit into a whole freaking lemon, dude. He's like, yeah, okay. Go for it, dude. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, so anyways, Ben gets up and he sits back in his seat. And Chip is just sitting there watching what is about to unfold. He does feel a little bit responsible. Like, he does feel like he had an opportunity to stop this man. And especially after the fact, he is kind of just like, I had an opportunity to stop this. I'm actually a freaking monster for not stopping this dude. Anyways, though, so, yeah, Chip is kind of just like watching as the Skibidi Toilet Kid, Ben. He's sitting there, and so they're kind of like given like a handout to do, or they're all given a handout, so the teacher kind of steps out of the class, because basically the handout was the teacher saying, like, probably, bro, I'm hungover, I need to go to the bathroom. But no, the teacher's just like, all right, class, here's a handout, I gotta go, I'll be right back. So everyone's sitting there in silence, by the way. This was not a talkative period, because sometimes, when the teacher leaves the classroom and you're all kind of doing stuff, sometimes, like, the second the door closes, I know this is definitely true for me sometimes, but sometimes the second the door closes, like, the class erupts into, like, conversation. Or sometimes it kind of slowly trickles into conversation that gets louder and louder, or sometimes there's just a few conversations. No, this was dead silent, dude. Like, this was actually dead silent. So, yeah. Anyways, right, the subscriber is watching as Ben completely ignores his handout. Oh, man. Guys, I just got to let you know something. You guys really actually need to strap in for this one. However, here's a little something I'll give to you. If you leave a like on the video right now, if you press that like button, it will actually, no joke, guys, it will actually equip you with invisible cringe goggles that will allow you to survive this experience. And if you're on Spotify, if you've rated the podcast 5 stars, then you've also been equipped with the cringe goggles. I just want to make sure you guys are safe. You're welcome. I mean, for such a low price, I give you such a valuable piece of equipment. Because Ben, the Skibidi Toilet Kid, gets up from his seat and starts walking towards the girl, Caroline. I almost forgot her name. If I named her something else, then her name is Caroline now. Okay, got it? Got it. Yeah, so, this is bad, guys. This is actually kind of bad. So he walks over to Caroline, and Caroline is like, she's a good student. Man, she's just trying to do her work. She's just trying to do what she's supposed to be doing that day. But no, her day was about to be mega ruined. So the Skibidi Toilet Kid walks over. And as he's walking over, I think he's trying to hype himself up by humming, like, the Skibidi Toilet theme song. Dude, if you're, like, walkout... Dude, okay, guys. Imagine you're, like, playing, I don't know, baseball or something. Or you're at a baseball game, right? And you know how you have, like, walkout songs? Like, you can choose, like, a song that's really hype or whatever to have, like, a walkout song. Imagine some kid walks out with, like, the frickin' Skibidi Toilet Song as his hype up song. Dude, I think I would actually just forfeit the game if I was on the other side. I'm like, you know what? I don't even want to be in the same field. I wouldn't even want to be at the same stadium, man. I wouldn't even want to be in the same state. If we live in the same state, I would unironically, okay, I don't think I go this far, but I may completely get up, move my house, move my citizenship, just go to another country just to be safe at that point. But yeah, so Ben, the Skibidi Kid, is like singing like the theme song to get himself hyped up as he's walking over there. And so at this point, like, people are kind of looking at him, like, giving him, like, the side eye or kind of looking over and being like, what is this kid doing right now? Like, seriously, what is this kid doing right now? Because it kind of made absolutely no sense that he was walking over there. Like, it just genuinely didn't make a lot of sense to anyone why this kid got up and was walking over to someone, because everyone was pretty diligently sitting in their seats, you know, doing their homework, just being really, you know, just being good kids, man, just doing what they're supposed to be doing while the teacher's out of the classroom. Anyways, though, so he walks over and he just stops in front of Caroline's desk. And at this point, Chip is like, oh my God, I'm morally responsible for this. Like, I am morally responsible for whatever's about to go down. And I feel terrible, man. I actually feel terrible. Like, I'm actually responsible for this. Like, whatever is about to happen is 100% my fault, and I'm actually a villain for letting this happen. Like, I am unironically a villain for letting this happen. And so the Skibidi Bob Toilet... oh, God. Those words coming out of my mouth as a 21-year-old man actually makes me question my line of work. Anyways, anyways, though, so the Skibidi Kid, right? He's there, and he's kind of just he's just stopping in front of Caroline, and Caroline like awkwardly looks up, looks at him, looks down, and in the back of her mind is probably like, please go away. Please go away. Please. Weird kid who's always humming YouTube Shorts stuff. Please go away. Yeah, so anyways, unfortunately, the Skibidi Toilet Kid Ben doesn't go away. In fact, he's about to very much not go away. So the Skibidi Toilet Kid Ben is like, hey, Caroline. And she's like, oh no. Because I think for a second, Caroline was kind of hoping that maybe this kid just like wasn't actually, like he was just having like a brain aneurysm and he kind of just, I don't know, zombie walked over to her. Didn't actually want to talk to her. That's pretty unlikely, but she eventually now realized that no, he actually does want to talk. So she looks up politely, because she's a polite girl and doesn't deserve what's about to happen. And she's like, yes. Like, she's just like, yes, Skibidi Toilet Kid. And he's like, so he starts like, he goes to the front of the classroom. He's like, I need your attention, everyone. And everyone's like, oh no, bro. Attention, movie lover. Sorry. And he's like, I need your attention, everyone. And so everyone looks up. And at this point, look, here's the thing. When Chip agreed to this, he genuinely thought that maybe, okay, the extent of all this was going to be, I don't know, maybe he like asks her out privately, or is like, gives her a compliment and is like, okay, will you date me? Or just something like, look, definitely something cringe, but not this. Like, Chip didn't want this. Anyways, though, so he's like, attention, everyone. And, oh, God. Hey, guys, so this is Connor's third brother. My name is also Connor. Connor, too, has also died. This story's been too much for him. Yeah, leave a like on the video. To pay respects to the last two Connors. Anyways, third Connor here. I'll finish the story. Anyways, right, so he goes up. He's like, attention, everyone. You are about to witness. You are about to witness some squibbity whiz. Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, so then he starts doing a dance in front of everyone. Like, the most awkward, uncomfortable, like funk 80s weird Gangnam Style remix dance. I don't even know how to describe it. Like, I literally don't even know how to describe it. Just imagine bad. And the best part too is it was dead silent. Like, you could hear the squeaks of his shoes on the floor, man. Like, you could actually hear the squeaks of his shoes. So everyone is just, they're at a loss for words, because, like, in all honesty, like, if this was happening to me, I genuinely don't know how I personally would respond to this as well. Like, I actually don't know what I would say, what I would do, honestly, how I would feel. Like, I don't know how I would feel in this situation. I mean, bad, obviously. Yeah, I'm going to be feeling bad in this situation. I don't think anyone wants to be in this. Like, I mean, especially Caroline, but even just being a witness there is pretty bad. And, okay, I'm going to have to brute force this out of me, unless I die again on my fourth brother's going to have to come in, right? So he starts doing this weird dance. You can hear the squeaks of the soles of his shoes on the, like, ceramic, like, floor. And then you hear him saying, you hear, he's like, Caroline, I'm trying to, like, remember the Skibidi, like, the bup. He's like, Caroline, I think you're so hot, yes, I really do. It's like, I don't know, it's really bad. Like, all you need to know is it's really bad. By the way, if you made this far into the video, comment toilet down below right now. And if you're on Spotify, make sure you've rated the podcast 5 stars, followed it. Did the poll that popped up for some reason. Just do the polls, please. If you're on YouTube, make sure you've left a like and comment toilet down below, just so I can see how many people made this far into the video, as I really do appreciate the people who make it this far. It helps out on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. And also, big shout out to anyone who binge watches these videos, meaning, like, sits down either on YouTube or Spotify or both, and just watches a bunch of videos at once while you sleep or study. I don't even care, right? You guys actually do help out the most, and you definitely help out the channel. Anyways, let's get back to the cringe. I was just stalling right there because I don't know if I can physically do it without dying again. Yeah. So he goes on to, like, impromptu, like, basically a love confession to this girl in the Skibidi Toilet Song, like, in the rhythm and the beat and the sound of that song, but replaced it with, like, he also wasn't even being poetic or anything, which I know sounds so crazy. I know, that sounds ridiculous. Wow, the 6th grader Skibidi Toilet kid wasn't Shakespeare? Wow, Connor. Shocker. I know. But he was just basically saying, I think you're hot, please date me. Which, dude, I really don't think that's the best way to go about it. I mean, it really doesn't help that you're doing that in front of the entire class, embarrassing the absolute living blank out of her, and also doing it to the Skibidi Toilet theme song. Dude, you have to be like a 12 out of 10, bro. You have to be giga chatter. Like, dude, there's no way this actually gonna work. Even if you were like some, I don't know, even if you were like James Bond. But then again, if you were James Bond, you wouldn't be doing this, man. Anyways, though, but here's, like, the funniest part. The door, like, slams open. The teacher comes back, and the teacher's like, Ben, what are you doing? And he's mid-dance Skibidi Toilet Song love confession. I don't know what words just came out of my mouth. I think I need a lobotomy after this, if I'm being honest, man. I don't know what words just came out of my mouth. But he's like, nothing. And the teacher's like, Ben, please sit down. Like, can you please go back and sit down? Everyone is, like, holding back their laughter. Everyone was, like, buckling over, bro, because this is, like, the worst time to laugh, because the teacher's going to obviously get mad at everyone. But eventually Ben sits back down, and Caroline's face is beet red. It's not even beet red, it's blood red. It is like, you take the saturation scale, you go all the way to the craziest, deepest, most intense red ever, and that has nothing on how red Caroline's face is right now, because, oh my god, what just happened? Yeah, so anyways, they're back in class, and they're doing their worksheets, and Chip is just like, what have I done? What have I done? Sorry. I just swallowed spit out of my... Don't even ask. But that perfectly, whatever just happened there, perfectly encapsulates, yeah, I'm, like, sick at the same time. Perfectly encapsulate how he's feeling. Anyway, so after class, such a nice audio. This is such a nice, beautiful audio for you guys listening, especially if you go to sleep. What a nice, beautiful sound. Anyways, so after class, Caroline pulls Ben aside and says, hey, buddy. First of all, if a girl starts off by saying, hey, buddy, not looking good, man. Not looking good. Time to pack it up. Time to wrap it up. Time to go home. Anyways, so she's like, hey, man. Hey, buddy. I'm really not looking for anyone right now. Lie, she got in a relationship 2 weeks later. I'm not really looking for anyone right now, and I think you're really interesting. Oh boy. I think you're really interesting. I just think we should be friends. And Ben's like, okay. So Ben is just waiting at the door, super dejected, waiting for Chip to come up to him and be like, now you have to do my homework. Chip already feels terrible. So Chip goes up to him and says, hey man, look, you don't have to do my homework. It's fine. He's like, no, I need to. And Chip's like, no, it's okay, man. Go find yourself. Go work on yourself. And maybe watch a little less YouTube shorts, maybe. I don't know. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got a story time of a Skibidi Toilet kid who basically almost sets his whole room and house on fire over an argument over Skibidi. Dude, I don't even know. I honestly don't even know. I think the Skibidi toilet infection has gotten a lot worse than we actually first imagined. So leave a like on the video right now to claim your free nothing. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and like story time videos. With that being said, let's just jump right into it. Yeah, so anyways, right, we're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story. Guys, what should we call him? We'll call him Sean. Anyways, though, so we're going to call the subscriber Sean. And Sean had this friend. And this is like literally the same as, I feel like there's been an epidemic that's gone down over the last couple months or whatever. Literally a Skibidi toilet kid, a Skibidi toilet infection has hit the coasts of the United States, man. Basically, that means, and you can if you watch any of my other story time videos that I've received or stories I've received about these Skibidi toilet kids, basically, a lot of them were pretty normal kids, man. A lot of them were normal kids before any of this went down. Then all of a sudden, once they were set over the summer and they're given an iPad and they watch these Skibidi toilet videos for like 5,000 hours a day, then all of a sudden they literally just go insane and just go skibby bub 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 like 1,000 words per minute every single day, every single second. And then they just praise the Skibidi toilet gods, dude. It's so confusing. Anyway, so this was no different as Sean had a friend who we're going to call Ben. And yeah, just for the new people, it's not the same guy in every story. Like, trust me, it's just kind of a joke on the channel for the secondary character to always be called Ben, so we're just going with it. But anyways, so sure enough, Sean had this friend who we're going to call Ben. And similar to actually the story that I told yesterday, I've been receiving a lot of these Skibidi toilet stories. Apparently it's like an actual infection going around, like it's crazy. Similar to the last story, Ben was like a pretty normal dude. So Sean wasn't as close with Ben as in the last story I told, but they were still pretty close. Close enough that at one point they did have a sleepover together, and they had a couple sleepovers. But, you know, they weren't as tight. Like, the other guy was, they were literally boys. But they were tight enough that, like, Sean really did enjoy spending time with Ben. They both played Fortnite together or whatever. So they had, like, that thing in common. So sometimes, like, they spent a lot of their time together just kind of playing Fortnite. Like, so they'd be at home, they'd be on Fortnite, whatever. But once in a while, they would go over to each other's houses. And because, you know, they kind of had this bond. I don't know, man, like, especially for the boys. I know it's true for some girls, too. But I just know definitely for the boys, like, you sometimes make your fondest memories playing, you know, video games with the boys, especially during 2020, during lockdown. Like, I know those are some of my best moments, man. I mean, I don't know my best moments, but those were some good moments, man. Anyways, though, so Ben was a pretty normal kid, and Sean kind of just didn't contact him over the summer. I think he sent him a text like, yo, once or something. They chatted really briefly, but for the most part, like, I don't know, Sean was just doing other stuff. Sean didn't really have time to hop on Fortnite, and low-key, like, that's the only reason that they would really, not the only reason, but that'd be the main reason that they would hang out. So if Sean wasn't playing Fortnite, he probably wasn't talking to Ben, but it kind of just went down like that. Anyways, though, so yeah, sure enough, Ben and Sean didn't see each other for an entire summer, and that's when the next summer, or not the next summer, that's when school came back around, and they were in the same neighborhood, so they attended the same school. They just never really had any classes together, so they wouldn't see each other a lot in school. But this year was no different. They once again didn't have any classes together, so a couple days in, Sean kind of runs into Ben in the hallways and is like, hey, man, like, it's been a long time. Like, it's really good to see you. It's on as, like, we should catch up sometime. Ben's like, yeah, 100%. We should definitely catch up. Like, it's been a second, man. Like, hope you had a good summer. And Sean's like, yeah, I hope you had a good summer, too. And Sean's like, oh, what did you do over the summer? And Ben kind of had this look on his face, which was kind of weird. And this was the first sign of like something strange is going down. Like something is off. You know what I mean? Like something is slightly off about all of this. So yeah, anyways, Sean kind of is like, oh, yeah, like what do you do over the summer? And Ben's like, Skibidi bop bop. I don't know, man, just kind of hung out. So, like, Sean was like, what? Because he kind of heard, like, Ben mumble, like, the Skibidi Toilet Song very briefly for a second, as if this was some, like, he was a sleeper agent and the secret code or whatever was announced or something like that. So, yeah, Sean's kind of like, oh, okay, man. Like, it's been a second. Why don't we do something this weekend? And Ben's like, yeah, actually, like, I'm not doing anything. Do you want to, like, pull up to the house? Like, yeah, like, do you want to pull up to the house like we did, like, last time? And Sean's like, yeah, man, like, I'm sure my mom will be fine with it. I'll just walk over. So anyways, let's fast forward to the weekend, and Sean, walks over to Ben's house, and for some reason, he's just like, sometimes, guys, sometimes you just kind of know that something's a little sus, man. Like, sometimes you just know that something is kind of up, something's kind of strange. Yeah, but either way, Sean, it was like kind of like one of those things where you kind of just had like a gut feeling that something was kind of strange, but it honestly wasn't enough for you to act on. Like, you couldn't just be like, oh, something's wrong. Like, it just like, you kind of had that feeling. And also, like, I don't know. Sean was kind of just like, yeah, no, I'm just being stupid, whatever. He's like, I'm going to go over to Ben's house. We're going to have a great time. It's honestly just going to be like the last time we hung out. So I don't know why I'm feeling so weird about these things. And I've said this before, but low-key, sometimes, like, your instincts, like, your gut instincts, like, it's really hard to say. Like, a lot of times, yeah, it'll just be wrong. But in those situations where it doesn't really hurt for you not to, like, listen to it, where it's like, oh, if you listen to your gut instincts and you're wrong, it's not that deep. But if you, it's like sometimes, man, like, we've evolved, like, we've been around for a second, and we've evolved to kind of, like, pick up on these things that, maybe consciously we can't reason out, like, we can't really, give some rationality or some explanation to why something is a problem or whatever. Sometimes you just kind of learn to pick up on these things subconsciously, and man, sometimes you got to listen to your subconscious on these. Not saying that, like, Sean should have just, like, yeeted out of there or something, but he definitely wasn't wrong. So anyways, he steps into Ben's house for the first time in a while, and, Ben's parents are like, oh, like, Sean, like, it's so good to see you, man. Like, it's been a while since we've seen one of Ben's friends in the house, which is kind of just a weird statement. Like, I don't know. Like, it's not, like, necessarily that strange to not have people pulling up all the time, like, especially middle school, high school. Like, this story is probably middle school. I didn't get any ages, but, well, come on, Skibidi toilet disease, probably middle school. Like, it's definitely, like, fine for, like, or it's not abnormal for people not to be pulling up every second, but it was kind of weird for them to say it, as if, like, Ben had almost gone into some kind of, like, hibernation where he didn't see anyone at all for a long period of time. Like, it was low-key kind of strange. But anyways, once again, Ben's just in a situation where he's kind of just ignoring it, or not ignoring it, but just not paying attention to these kind of small details or whatever. So anyways, eventually Sean. So Sean eventually goes upstairs and he finds Ben just kind of on his bed, or in his bedroom, on his desk, just playing like around Fortnite or something. And so anyways, like, Sean's like, oh, or Ben's like, oh, dude, like, what's up? Like, I didn't see you come in. And he like turns off his game. I think he like just died or something too. And when he closes his screen, Sean looks at Ben's screen and he sees like 1,000 YouTube tabs open. Like 1,000 YouTube tabs. It's actually insane. And the one video it's on is a Skibidi toilet video. And it's kind of like, okay. Like, whatever, man. Like, low-key don't care, but okay. Because I don't know. At this point, like, Sean had been aware of the whole Skibidi toilet trend, but he just thought it was kind of dumb. And by the way, if you're listening to this and you like this, I don't care. Like, honestly, that's fine. I like a lot of stuff that I bet you guys would find kind of dumb. Vice versa, like, whatever. It really doesn't matter as long as you don't set your house on fire, start a cult. Like, there's a lot of things I don't care if you like Skibidi Toilet as long as you don't do the things that these Skibidi Toilet kids do. Like, if you like Skibidi Toilet, I wouldn't even call you a Skibidi Toilet kid as long as you're not doing this stuff, man. Yeah, so anyways, right, it's almost as if that Ben was, like, trying to hide his like Skibidi toilet obsession, because he like quickly tries to like he tries to like close all the tabs, because I think he notices that 1,000 Skibidi toilet videos are like on his tabs or whatever. But I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but when you have so many tabs open and you try and close them, like it just like breaks the computer. So his computer like freezes. And so Ben just awkwardly is like, yeah, so anyways, over here. And he like gets up and tries to like get Sean's attention in the other direction or something. Like, it was just all around kind of like awkward and weird, but like low-key, like whatever, man, like who cares? Anyways, though, so yeah, they kind of go on to, I think I don't even know what they do. I think they go downstairs and they chat about something. They're just kind of like vibing, whatever. I think they're thinking of going out in the town for a little bit. I think they walk out, they do a thing or two. And so things are pretty normal. However, things start to become less and less normal, or at least it's obvious that something is up, especially when the subscriber notices that Ben is like almost like it's almost as if Ben is having withdrawals, bro. Like he's like skibbity. It's just very weird, and you know, Sean's like, yo dude, like what's up? He's like, oh, what's up? Like we gotta go home. And Sean's like, oh, okay, like sure, we can go home. He's like, yeah, I gotta do something. So anyways, they go back home, and Ben's like, I'll be right back. He like runs upstairs, and Sean's kind of sitting there, and that's when Ben's dad comes out. And he's like, oh, Sean, like it's been a while. Like, what's up, man? Like, how's it going? And Sean's like, I'm doing pretty good. Like, I had a pretty good summer. What about you guys? And Ben's dad's like, yeah. It was we had a summer, which is like, dude, if you're specifying like it when someone says, oh, like, do you like what was it? Like if someone says, oh, how was your summer? Like most of the time, even if it was kind of like whatever, is like you say, oh, good. Like I don't know, even if it was like kind of whatever. But if you go out of your way to say like, if you go out of your way to say it happened, like it like just happened, and you avoid saying good, then that normally means something not good happened. So it's kind of like a weird wording, but you know, it's not like Sean's gonna really go into it, really dig into it. He just is like, oh, okay, like I guess he just didn't have, you know, baller summer, like happens, you know what I mean? Like, okay. Anyways, though, so yeah, sure enough, the subscriber is kind of just sitting there a little bit awkwardly, and that's when Ben's dad's like, so where is Ben right now, actually? The subscriber's like, I don't know. He said he needed to come back, and he kind of went upstairs and said he'd be back. And there's like a look on like Ben's dad's face, which the subscriber was really taken aback by, because Ben's dad had this like look on his face. And Ben's dad's like, so he went upstairs without you? And he's like, yes. And Ben's dad's like, no, he didn't. At this point, the subscriber's like, what? Like, dude, I'm like, what? So, yeah, the subscriber's kind of just sitting there, and Ben's dad, like, doesn't run up the stairs, but, like, angry walks, and he's like, Ben, what are you doing up there, Ben? And he, like, starts, like, walking up the stairs. And the subscriber, low-key, is mad curious. So he doesn't follow directly behind, but he kind of, like, slowly gets himself into a position where he can at least witness what's going on right now. Like, he can at least see what's going on. Yeah, so, sure enough, the subscriber is kind of positioning himself to get a good look. And you basically, so he kind of like creeps up the stairs a little bit, and he sees Ben's dad, goes into Ben's room, and as the door opens up, you hear like, skippy bop bop bop, yes, skippy bop beep beep, like you just hear that noise, and Ben's dad's like, no way, you just left your friend down there to go watch this toilet videos. You know about all the conversations we've had. Like, you need to stop watching those videos. They're rotting your brain, and you're spending all your time doing it. And Ben just starts screaming like, let me watch my Skibidi Toilet video. And at this point, the subscriber's like, what? Huh? Like, what? Yeah, the subscriber is definitely a little bit confused because he's never seen this side of Ben before. Granted, look, he doesn't know Ben that well. He just enjoyed playing Fortnite with him. They bonded over that, and he seemed chill, right? He seemed chill. But then all of a sudden, he's watching Ben actually become, like, possessed by a demon, dude, because he can't be watching his Skibidi Toilet videos for every second of every millisecond of the day, bro. Like, it's like, god damn, bro, relax. It's not that deep. I don't know how to put it. It's just not that deep, man. But yeah, so Ben is basically having like a screaming match at this point, And Ben like runs out of his room. And at this point, Sean's like, uh-oh, because Sean didn't want to like be involved in this. Ben like runs past Sean without even like acknowledging him, as if Ben was in like a tunnel vision, a Skibidi Toilet disease tunnel vision. And he like runs downstairs and he's in the living room. And here's an important part. So they had like this, like on one of the tables, they had a candle, because it's like, I don't know. I vibe with candles, man. Like it's cool lighting. It's kind of just aesthetically cool. But then also like you get the right candle, it makes the room smell nice. Downside is it's a live flame, so you always got to be careful with that. But anyways, though, so he runs downstairs and Ben's dad runs after him like, we've already talked about this. You're watching these videos. It's too much. It needs to be stopped. You know what? We're going to take away your computer, your laptop, so you need to detox yourself from these Skibidi Toilet videos. And Ben's like, no, not Skibidi.